All right, guys. I don't know if y'all are in here yet. What is up? Let me get up here. My goodness. Where's the snacks? What's let's see. Jennifer, of course. And Jennifer, I am sorry about the seed. I don't have the seeds. As you can see, I am still at work. So um let's see. What's up, Dale? Mr. Paul Case, Lori Corp, Scotty, how are you? So, yeah, guys, I am sorry. It is like it's wild. I have had a week. Um, device. Okay, Paul Case. Hello. Hey, there's Mr. D. Homestead. What are you doing, Mr. Mike? Mr. Paul?
Hi, I'm Paul.
Yeah, man. Look, let me tell you. I am, if you can look behind me, I'm at work. We're still working. I am having immortal heck. I got I got I got tomato gravy and biscuits at home waiting on me, and
and
I
there you
can't
are.
get and I am at work.
And there you are at
They-
work.
I know. I told Jennifer we was doing seeds. We was doing seeds tonight, talking seeds, and I'm telling you, it is all messed up. You know. Oh, so how are you doing, Mr. Paul?
I'm doing fine. I kind of overdid it today. I hauled in 4 loads of logs before 1 o'clock, and then I was in the middle of separating some calves to get moved around into different pens. And my cousin showed up and visited with me for a couple hours, and that actually worked out good because they were a little spooky before that, and they were so tired of setting in pins whenever I got to them to work them around that they worked really good after that.
Yeah. Hey, I got a new one in there is Grilling Addiction with Nick. It says he come over from Old Pecan Homestead. That's good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So,
Grilling addiction with Nick. How's it going?
well, Nick, this is not a normal life. I almost canceled the situation, but I'm I didn't want to because I knew we had people on here waiting and I enjoy our lives. So came over from Rambling Peaches Live. Joe, what's up? I've seen you on some Joe Jacobson.
Mm-hmm.
So Dale, how are you?
Hello, Mike from MT Homestead.
Yeah, that's big Mike. That ain't
Big
just Mike.
Mike.
That's big Mike. Yes, indeed.
I always just catch the end of his lives. I can't remember. Is his on Wednesday night? Sometimes I get home and I just catch the end of it. And I'll be like,
Well,
hi, and they'll say bye.
I've done the same thing. I'm
Yep.
telling you. What's up, Crystal? Um,
Oh,
uh,
Scotty.
Hiking with Jackie Boy. Hello. Um, but yeah, it has been. Let me tell you, we Saturday this place shut in on us, and we worked. I didn't get home until I think 9:30, 9:45, something like that. And then we had to go down this morning, or actually, my relief went down last night at midnight, and we started trying to come back up this evening, and we just about had it online. I said, okay, good, I'm gonna make it. I got 30 minutes to get home and get set up. I'll have to eat after, and then we went down again. Like, um,
Sounds
this
like farming to me.
it
Every
did.
time I make a plan.
This is worse than farming right here tonight. Oh, again, hello, but not tagging yet tonight. Okay.
Hello, Amy.
Oh, is that Amy? Hello, Amy. Junode Acres Homestead. Hello, guys. Yeah. And I don't know. I hope I can stay on a little bit. I may have to go up here and go check on things here in a minute and see where we stand. And oh, look here, boy. This is an unusual one here.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Dakota?
Oh, not much. I guess you's mad at me. I didn't see Trey in my life.
Look, hey, I am at work. I'm still at work, and I don't know how long I'll be on live. I am. That's what I tried to call you earlier and was going to tell you I wasn't going to be on your live. Can you hear me? Oh. Can y'all hear me pretty good, Mr. Paul?
I can hear you good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's make it sure.
I can hear you good. I have my YouTube up still.
Okay. Well, I've watched a couple of my lives. It don't seem like I'm coming across loud sometimes. And the other night I put Saturday night when I got home, I jumped on with Tina and them. They'd sent me the link, wanted me to jump on with them. And I put my wireless mics on. Tried that.
Well, you're coming through loud and clear. It's just that I have to figure out what the heck you're saying because I'm from the northeast part of Oklahoma.
I got you. Oh, there's Jenny is in the house. Evelyn Newman. Still everybody's jumping in. I seen you had there's Neil, Dakota. We had somebody jump over here. I went blank already. I'm telling y'all, my mind is not straight tonight.
Grilling.
What?
It was.
Well, my mind ain't never right, but tonight is really out of whack. I'm trying to get back up here. There you go. Grilling Addiction with Nick.
Oh yeah, he's
in. Yeah.
Well, I had a strange YouTube thing today. I got up and I had my short that I've been putting on of me checking my calves and feeding them like I've been doing every morning. And believe it or not, they're getting a lot of views for the shorts that I put out. And then I go to upload a video that I made last week while I was working up some firewood with my Halverson wood processor. And it won't let me put the title in it of being anything but feeding calves. And if I put something else in there, and in order for me to, when I go back in there and try to edit that video and to change the title of it, it wouldn't let me change the title of it unless I changed the thumbnail picture. And so I tried 4 or 5 different thumbnail pictures and changing that, and then I'd hit save and it would save the different thumbnail picture, but it still wouldn't let me put anything on there for a title but feeding calves. And I thought, well, maybe it's goofed up and going to make me have that for a title for all of my videos from now on, because I've done this for, I don't know, what day of the month is this? We started about the 1st, so
it's October 21st.
21 days probably here I put feeding calves videos up. And no, it's just that one video, because I put up another short after that of what I had for lunch today while I was in the woods. And I had never had that happen before. I text Dale about it, and Dale says, well, you ought to email YouTube. Do you know, I've been putting videos up for over 5 years, and I've never emailed YouTube about anything.
I actually have emailed him a few times. Hey, Ricky Peavy. Am I saying that right? That's the first time I've seen him.
Are you emailing, or are you emailing like an AI chatbot?
Well, I don't know, and it may be, but I've emailed them, and we've had some discussions over some stuff, and sometimes I've left with good answers, and sometimes I've left more confused than when I got there.
The only emails that I've received from them, if you try to reply to those, like the creator newsletter or whatever, it comes up in their address and says YouTube no reply. So you're not going to get anything back from that. If it would even let you send that an email. So
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
guess
I
I
do.
have an email address for YouTube.
I know if you ever get so big, I want to say, I could be totally wrong, but I want to say it's like 100,000 subscribers. You get a YouTube representative where you actually get contact with real people that can help you, navigate different things like channel strikes and things.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny's had some of that
There
kind of
you go.
trouble because they made him take down a video where he filmed that while Christine was putting out hay for the cows, and it claimed he had a minor running his tractor, and everybody's like, "Yeah, Christine's only about 50, and the only people he could get any reply from was some type of AI that YouTube has." And it's like you say, his channel wasn't anywhere near as big as it is now, and
Yeah.
he could never get any satisfaction out of him. So he's like, I guess I just get a strike and go on.
I've got two
Hey,
channel strikes.
You got what?
Two strikes already.
Ooh, you're one away. Hey, Trey, let me help you out. Go on the YouTube side and that StreamYard link, pin it. Go to pin. There's 3. When you're on your phone, click the 3 dots and click pin. It puts it at the top, and then people won't ask you over and over again.
I got you.
There you go.
I tried to do that the other day and I couldn't figure it out. Look,
You couldn't
since I've
figure
been
it out.
back from Pinecone Fest, it don't seem like anything has went right. I can't get caught up. And I didn't get home. Look, the other night, what was it, Saturday night, wasn't it? We was on there with
When
Tina and
When
Aaron.
it all went down and everything.
No, look, we're there again now. I'm still at work. I've been here since about 5:40 this morning, and I'm still here. So, like I said, I almost wasn't gonna be able to do this, and I need to be up there on some of these computers up front.
You're fine.
Well, if we hear a
could
big
carry-
explosion,
I bet Dakota and Paul and I could carry the show for you. I mean,
Hey,
don't worry about your channel or
well,
nothing
you
like
go-
that.
You're gonna have to in a minute because I've got to go up there and check on it.
leave it running so we'll hear the boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear a boom.
If only I could
No
figure out
booms.
how to. So I'm struggling here. I could get on StreamYard, but I can't figure out how to see YouTube and StreamYard. Like if I do that, then I get this echo chamber. Do you just mute your YouTube or what?
I mute I pause my YouTube. I go over to YouTube and just pause it. It's the way I do now.
Are you on your phone, Dakota?
Yeah.
That's part of the problem.
Ah.
But yeah, you got to pause your phone, but you could see the chat when you're in StreamYard. You just can't see us.
I click on chat and I don't see nothing. I click on. Oh, there it is. I got to click on comments.
Comments, yeah, it's comments, not private chat. You gotta
Chats
be on
between
comments.
between us, comments.
Yeah,
and everybody
whoever,
else.
y'all are welcome. Welcome on, Juno.
Amy, Juno.
Hello,
I'm
Tony.
trying.
There's Tony,
Tony.
Jenny.
Let me see.
Angie.
If you got Angie and Tony in here, you got Tangy.
Okay, so Dale,
Yo,
I am on.
Hey, Dakota, I'm working on
YouTube,
you.
but so where is the 3 dots that I'm supposed to be clicking?
click on your comment itself. Just click on it.
Okay, let me get back up here to it. Got you. It's asking me to open Safari.
It says pin down
Hey,
there.
it's not giving me
As long as you're logged into your YouTube. What I can't see that. It's just a white screen, dog.
There you go.
Okay.
Right over to the right of your comment, Trey. There
To the
should
right
be
of your
3
comment
dots.
should be where you click.
When you've got your cursor on it, on
Yep.
your comment, there should be 3 dots that come up all the way over to the right.
I know Amy showed me the other night, and like I'm looking at it, and it's no 3 dots there.
Are you an iPhone or is that a?
iPhone.
Yeah, mine does it.
Yeah, yours should do that. Maybe you just click on your comment and it'll come up.
Usually that's what I do. I just touch my comment and then it'll bring up a list. It's like block this user and all kinds of stuff, but also in that says pin comment.
Yeah, let me see here. It's pulling up. Want me to go to Google or Safari, or let me try that and see if it carried me over there. But anyway, I'm trying to do this. I don't want to get behind on who I'm speaking to here.
No, I mean, go ahead. You're fine. Check the basement.
Check the
There.
basement.
Sup,
There
Chris?
it is.
Boy, this is the night. I got to grow a beard. I got to get some more hair here. I'm feeling a little left out in the situation.
What
tonight.
Amy said, I need to jump on here because it's the bearded gentleman group, I guess, or something. So
Mine's fixing to be more than what it is. I'm gonna stop this shaving junk 1st of November.
I hear
No
you.
shave November.
We'll get to a
Even
point
4
where
years.
I let her
It's way
cut
more than
this all
November.
down to where it's all the same height, and then it grows out pretty good. But I can't stand to shave through the winter. My neck breaks out every time it feels that cold steel run across it, I guess. And you look really good going to church with your neck all broke
Yep.
out and red,
Yeah.
rash all over it. Of course, you bearded guys ain't got no idea about that, now do you?
Oh, brother, until
That's
about
why I shave.
exactly.
till the last 2 years or so, I used to have to be clean shaven about every day, and
No.
I hated every minute of it.
That's one of the
Dave?
reasons I used to make really good money working for Schlumberger, doing E-Tech on a frac crew, but I just couldn't stand the fact that I had to shave.
Yeah.
So that's who you used to work for, Schlumberger?
Yeah.
That's who I work for.
You work for Schlumberger right now?
Yeah, that's for yeah.
How do you keep up with YouTube and all their safety training? My gosh.
Yeah, I'm at work for Schlumberger right now.
Well, that part is familiar.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know. They're talking oil. I don't know what they're talking about.
I've
Yeah,
actually done some crating for Schlumberger before.
Oh, look at
You know-
this guy.
Them trucks that say
Tony.
Tony,
Tony!
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Tony!
Definitely. Okay.
Don't have to do that
Who's
again.
getting
do
with
we?
the laws? Hello, guys.
Oh,
And
Dale, I got a funny for you. You're going to really like this.
What's
A
that?
friend of mine pastored a Baptist church over in Miami, and I don't know why he was doing it, but he was looking for something that they wanted him to find in their constitution and bylaws for that church. And he came across some stuff they had put in there about what the pastor should be. And one of them was clean shaven. Couldn't have any facial hair. And I looked at him when he told me that, and I said, well, then Jesus couldn't even pastor your church, friend.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Pharisee to me. Sorry.
Right? He had a goatee the whole time that he was pastoring that church, but he said, yeah, it's in there. They got rules about that.
okay.
We went to so where we used to live, literally there was a Baptist church. I'm not joking a bit. 150, 200 yards from our house.
Mhm.
And first time we went there, we more or less got told that we weren't dressed well enough to be there. And my wife and I were not my wife and I at that time. We were just a couple. And we got told that was horrible. And more or less made to feel like we were not welcome there. And that pretty much soured us from going to church for about the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, you
You know.
feel more welcome at a McDonald's than some churches, huh?
Yep.
Should not be that way.
So, I got a real good friend whenever I think of like the epitome of Christian, that's this guy. And he was told he could not partake in communion if he was not a member of a church, of a Baptist church. I mean, I agree with Baptists on probably more than not. And I've gone to more Baptist churches than anything over the years. But telling somebody that they can't partake in communion because they're not a member of that specific church is just wrong, because the church is the bride of Christ. It's not necessarily a denomination. So it's not a denomination's place to tell people you can't take communion. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we are jumping deep off in the water right here, boys.
My
Yeah.
church is exactly the opposite of that. We give a disclaimer. They've asked me to give a disclaimer every time that we have communion, and tell everybody, because we'll have visitors a lot of the time. Be sure to tell everybody they're welcome to take in this if they belong to Jesus, you know. And
If
if
you
they
trust-
don't, the Bible says it doesn't do any good anyway. So, yeah, we actually had the Lord's Supper on
Yeah.
Sunday, and I
So
think
did
we
we.
had 25 visitors that was there to see two probably 10, 11-year-old girls that got saved about a month ago get baptized.
That's
And
awesome.
We
Hey,
actually,
y'all hold it down for a minute. I'll be right back. Y'all
Okay.
I thought he
All
was going
right.
to
Keep
sing.
going. Let's
Yeah,
let's
better not hear
talk
sirens
about
in the
everything
background.
now.
I thought he was going to censor us on the church talk for a second.
I thought he was for a moment.
But
No,
we really
I-
enjoy doing that.
exactly the approach you need to have, because no one could truly know if someone's saved. That's for Christ himself to determine. It's not for you or I to sit here and say they can't do that because I don't believe they're saved. You know what I mean? And if they do it and they're not saved, then that's their problem to answer for, not mine.
Between them and the Lord.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know, our pastor at our church, somebody one time said something to him. We literally had people that would show up in pajamas, fuzzy slippers, and bedheaded. And they said something to him one time about he ought to talk to them people. And he said, I don't know about you. He said, but what I read in my book says, let them come. Turn none away. He said, this may be the first time that some of them people have ever been in the door of a church or heard the gospel. Why would we go and chase them away? He said, this doesn't make any sense to me.
You know where a church structure is really, where I think it is really important, is when you got somebody in there that's abusing their position of leadership and whatnot. That's when a church structure is really important. When somebody who you're not even on a first name basis comes in, and just because they look different, that's not the time for a church authority to run somebody out. It's it's often, not always, but it's often the opposite, where the church authority protects those other people, but not the strangers that come in, you know.
Yeah, there's some of those other people I'd like to run off.
Yeah.
Avid. Okay.
Avid up in here.
Yep. Trying to get caught up. Like I said, this is a chaotic live tonight for me.
Hey,
For anybody in the comments, hey,
they're the best.
this is real life. That's what's going on here right now. This is
right.
real life.
So I don't know if you guys caught it, but me and Avid and Eric from Rainy Ridge last night, we tried out the Restream deal. I tried out Restream yesterday on my channel, and I kind of like it, like quite a bit.
I seen it pop up. There's something in your comment, your title said something Restream, didn't it?
Yeah,
Was
we
it
did a
something-
pop-up Restream late last
That's
night.
it. That's what I seen. Yeah. Man, I have not watched anything. I have not watched anybody. I mean, it has been absolutely crazy the last few days. So I promise y'all, I'm gonna catch up on everybody. And look, I was sitting here this evening, kind of in a lull, and I had like I think 17 or 18 comments or something, and I had not responded. So I jumped on. I started trying to respond to some comments, and
Trey, you're gonna learn you can't watch everybody. And I mean, you can comment back to them later if time goes on, but there's absolutely no way you can comment or watch everybody's video. And it's hard and it's sad to say that, but it's so true because you have to function your life and run your channel also.
oh, I know,
Right.
but I always find time to jump on and I watch everybody. I get, I watch something from everybody and I try to leave a comment and I'm
Well-
normally okay with it. But like I said,
What I-
man, it's just these last few days has been wild.
What I try to do is if I'm going to watch, like Tony said, you can't really watch everybody. But if I'm going to watch somebody's video, I try to, even if I can't really watch the whole thing, I try to let as much of that video play out as possible. Like, say I'm pumping gas, I may watch a few minutes and then let it, play. That way they get as much of the,
I'm not anymore. I use it like a podcast in my truck when I travel. Instead of listening to the radio, I just plug somebody, suggested video in, just let it play while I'm driving down the road. I may not even be watching it, but I'm listening to what's going on.
And I do the same. And like I said, when I get on one, even if I can't, I at least let it play all the way through. If I can't watch it, but I like to watch because I like to know what's going on. I
like-
talk to a lot of us here talk, and I like to be able to say, well, did you see this the other day? If one of y'all asked me, like, yeah, because I try to watch, but man, it just last few days has been tough.
Paul Case is shorts on his calf feeding and he don't respond to me.
Well, that's another one of those things. I have a lot of people that's been watching them, and I do respond to some of them. I try to catch all the comments, but man, just keeping up sometimes.
Can't just
and
throw
there's
our
another
videos
thing.
on in the car and listen to them because all you'll hear is diesel snorting into the camera. You don't want to hear that going down the road.
Well, I get my shirt. I put
I
it.
don't hear it.
I'll run a channel and I'll start to watch it, and then I have it in my shirt pocket, and I can completely listen to it. And I try to let it run all the way out, and I'll listen to it, take a break for a second, watch it, and then I'll try to comment on it also. But I do try to listen, and it would be in my shirt pocket, and it's too hard. There's too much going on.
Well, I'm actually, mine, I'm probably 2 more days if I've got it figured right. I'm going to be having I'm going to have 3,000 watch hours in about 2 days. So
Sweet.
I'm getting close, and then that just 1 more 1,000,
We could all throw them on and go to bed tonight and get them there tomorrow morning.
I think we've been very fortunate that we've had a few. No, most of our videos don't do that well, but we've had a few very good ones that we're still milking from years back. And we've been very fortunate because we haven't really had to chase that watch hours thing. But
well, I don't even know. I think I'm probably close to 4 months the end of this thing since I took it serious. So I'm tickled where it's at. It just gives me something.
channel's doing really, really well. As long as you've been at it, I think it's doing really well because we've been in it close to 4 years.
Yeah.
I think you're
We
doing.
were watching something from you the other day, and I was trying to look at the screen when she was watching it, and it said something about the update on your llama or alpaca or whichever one it is. And then we started watching it. I was like, well, what happened to the llama? Because I didn't know what happened to it. I didn't know details. She watches it way better than I do. And then we started noticing after we watched half of it, it was from 2 years ago. I'm like, well, I guess it doesn't really matter now, actually, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I want to go back to Amy's comment about she tries to watch them and make comments. Amy makes amazing comments, so I know she's watching people's videos.
And she watches everybody. I don't understand how. No.
I can tell you, her
Just
doing what
no.
she's doing there, that is hard.
I'll tell you, Hey, you, Mr. Leonard Mountain must be working double time.
I'm the executive producer.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't-
heard that before.
I just
I
pay
don't mean
for
to
everything
jump in here.
and make special guest appearances.
And look,
I don't need to jump in here and
that
change the
comment
subject.
from Avid, look, it's I'm not exact. I mean, yes, I'm chasing watch hours, but here's the deal. I had a goal I wanted to set out, and I wanted to get monetized.
Hey,
And
that goes
I'm
back to
not
Johnny's talk
worried.
the other night.
And look, I'm not worried about making money at this because this is not ever going to be something I'm going to get rich and make money at. But it's one of them things I want to get monetized. Once I'm monetized, I mean, you ain't going to hear me talk about, oh man, I need this to get to 5,000 or 6,000 or I need 5,000 more subscribers. I ain't worried about all that. But it's giving me something to drive toward, and it's a goal I want to do. I'd say I'm monetized on YouTube, and I'm not. It's not going to be like something I'm chasing. I mean, what comes from then is just going to be what I get, But yeah, I mean, I am. I guess you could say kind of chasing them a little bit because it's just a goal I set. It's what I want to do. So I try not to think much at it.
I never really wanted to do it. I mean, my first goal was my mom and brother live in Florida, and I wanted that so the grandkids and everybody can see what's going on. But more and more, it's come into where I enjoy helping or teaching people to do different things, and I've gotten into be able to grow food good, gardens, and I actually sat down at Pinecone Fest with Johnny for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, I don't know, and talked about it. And I can be well into being monetized. And he's pretty much got me convinced to jump in and do it. And I just now need to find time to go ahead and do it. I understand it don't take long, but man, this is the first time right now I just got on the computer. So
Yeah.
You got to do it.
And like I said, it's just one of them things I wanted to do. So it's not like it's, and I'm not going to calm down. I mean, I know, like Makeup Mom said there, a lot of people do it and they calm down. I mean, look, I'm me. What y'all see right here is what I am. I mean, I'm not, I'm going to keep doing my Monday, my open mic Mondays best I can. I'm going to keep pumping out the same content like I do now. I'm not going to change once I get monetized. It's just, like I said, it's a goal that I wanted to do. And, hey,
Again, it goes back to Johnny's matrix. It's what you want to get out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And look, I have met some awesome people. Look, every one of these guys on this screen right here, and I haven't got to meet all of y'all. Well, I've met all of y'all but one. And me and Mr. Paul will eventually meet. Yeah, I see you. I know because you stood us up at Pinecone Fest. But
I'm a little hard to
I
catch.
have met some really cool folks, and I still don't know a lot about a lot of y'all, but I learn more, I try to watch videos.
See, you when you watch a channel, it's like you get this little itch, or you get something that attracts you to these channels that we all become family in this way. It's really this community. When we're down at Pinecone, every one of us, it's all attract. Yeah. It's nice to be part of whatever we've all become.
Oh man,
It's supportive in a way.
in the last year, just being in this community is, I don't know, more awesome than having videos on YouTube. That's all I
Good
can.
night, Lila.
Well, I got to go back there just a minute. Chris, you said something about Dakota having a llama, and I got a llama story. It's well worth hearing. We have some neighbors that have had quite a few of those llamas. Most of them were coyote bait. And they said that those llamas they had, there was always an alpha male in the group. And whenever he got old enough he couldn't stand his own, the others would establish a new pecking order, but they wouldn't let him stay in the pasture. And the one that we found was a black and white spotted llama, ugly as sin. I don't know where they came up with, I'm sure it brought more money at some exotic animal auction where they bought it at. But these people were on the back side of my dad's section. He owned almost half a section of ground. Well, them other llamas wouldn't let that one stay in their pasture. They'd run him through the fence to get rid of him. And
Pretty easy too.
yeah. And so he showed up in a field my dad didn't have any cows in. And we're like, need to call the neighbors. You've got their llama. Dad calls them, and the guy says, yeah, they've run him out. We put him back twice. They ain't going to let him stay. You guys can have him. And Dad's like, I don't want a llama. You know, my youngest son, he was pretty young then, and there was a certain president in office, and he said, I'd sure like to give that llama to President. You know his last name because it rhymes with llama. Mama's your mama llama, and give it to him as a departing the White House gift. Okay, but the story gets more interesting. Dad can't find anybody that wants this thing, and it wasn't like he was super nasty or unfriendly or anything, but they finally said, we're not going to come get him anymore, so you guys just do whatever you want to with him. And my oldest son,
if you'd have loaded him up in a trailer and hauled him to Yates Center, Kansas, you could have got maybe enough money out of him to buy you a cheeseburger off the dollar menu and a sweet tea.
We had more fun than that, Dale. We found out some things we didn't know. You can lay a llama out with a small caliber cordless hole punch. And then we did. We cut him up, and most of them we threw away because he is so tough and old. the what could have been tenderloin or loin cuts off of that llama were about the consistency of the hardest beef jerky you can buy in a convenience store.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. No,
well, I've heard that llama. Now, I'm guessing that's probably younger, castrated llamas. But I've heard they're really good eating. Yeah. I haven't had the luxury of trying it.
I wouldn't be surprised, but Scott's like, oh, yeah, if Grandpa will cordless hole punch that llama, I'll just cut him open and see what we get. And that was what they did. And, of course, them llamas, they look like they're quite a bit to begin with, and they're kind of like sheep. You cut all that hair off from them, they look like a cat when it gets wet.
Look like a grounded cat.
Yeah. But, we had a little fun with the neighbor's llama. At the neighbor's expense, they said, we're not going to do anything with it. And they're the ones who have all the, at one time had all the fanciest John Deere equipment, and they could afford it because they had a spring shop and was selling springs to JB Hunt Trucking Company. But
nowadays, run-of-the-mill llamas bringing $800 to $1,200 a head.
Yeah. I didn't say it wasn't an expensive lesson. It was just something you learned. We didn't know. You never know what you might get when you get some old country boys together. I think I could hit it.
Well, I can tell. I've told this story before, but I had a neighbor at our old place that the people that lived there before us, we got goats, and I went over there to visit with this fella, and he said, you got goats? I said, yes, sir. He said, you going to keep them in? I said, well, I'm going to try my best. And he said, well, the last bunch, they didn't keep their goats in. I said, well, hopefully I'm better than them. He said, I took care of the problem, though. I said, how'd you do that? And he's one, he was always smoking or barbecuing something, when you went by there. It might be armadillo he found on the side of the road, but he was smoking or grilling something, and it's always good food. And he said this old cat that lived there before us, he said they had these pygmy goats, and he said they were always getting out. Well, he had this asparagus patch behind his house that he just coveted. And he said, I come home from the lake, and he said, there is that pygmy goat. nanny out there in my asparagus patch and just wiped it out. And he
No.
said, I just reached down in the seat, grabbed me a cordless hole puncher, and he said, I took care of that problem. And he said, you know, the only problem with a goat, he said, they're 95% innards, guts. He said, that's all they are. He said, but I skinned that thing out, put it on the smoker. He said, you know, them people come home about 5:30 that day from work. He said, first thing they did, like they always did, come over to mooch off of him the food, whatever he was cooking. And they're like, you got something smoking? And he said, oh, yeah. He said, you want to try it? And they gave him some. And they're like, man, that's really good. What is that? And he looked at him and said, goat. And the guy's like, where's Tinkerbell? Kid said, kid back over there, there's no Tinkerbell because they was eating Tinkerbell.
What I was about to say, but you beat me to it, was I don't know why a goat being out would be a problem unless it was eating somebody's fruit trees or is eating their garden or something along those lines. Then I could see it being a big problem. And an asparagus patch, that right there is almost fighting words.
Yeah, that's corporal punishment in my opinion.
Or in the case we had, goats on top of vehicles standing on the hood.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, if you get big goats, they don't get on vehicles like the little ones.
Right.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Well, I can tell you, we had a pasture full of boar show goats because we used to raise 4-H and FFA show goats, and had expensive boar nannies bred to way too much high dollar Billy. And the happiest day of our lives is the day that a trailer left from that place, and we had a check in our hand, and we no longer was in the goat business.
Well, you know, Dale, that just like that,
to go.
just like that, there's 2 days in a boat owner or a chicken farm owner's life that are the happiest 2 days of his life. And one is either when you bought the boat or you built the chicken farm. And the second is when you sold it.
Yep.
Well, you know, I'm telling you, if you get the right goats, I don't feel like it's the same way. I feel like if you get Kikos or Spanish and you don't, you know, they're not such a labor intensive goat, I feel like it's a little more easy to deal with.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, those
I
poor
said
nannies, they were the most horrible mamas there ever was. You had to put every one of them in a 4x4 pen, and you had to take every one of them little babies and make them nurse, like hold them up and squeeze their mouth to make them nurse.
That would be
Or else
very.
they just lay there and die, and mom would walk off from them.
That's crazy.
I mean, they
That'd
were
be-
horrible moms.
Yep.
But
I've heard Kikos are like super chill, super laid back, like easy to raise. They're not like, you don't have to stay on top of them like other ones. Like I've heard Kikos are super, super easy to raise.
Spanish,
Yeah,
put a little Spanish with them.
If you check out, Shayla did a video on a buffet mineral feeder. The most important thing with goats is mineral, and if you can keep mineral up, everything else should follow suit on a good goat breed. You know, Boers. There is no figuring out Boers. You just got to be there with them every day.
You got to babysit them.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, they're worse than a sheep. They get so lonely. They get so attached to you. They'll just all stand at the fence and just cry for you and cry for you. You walk out, they'll all leave the fence and go browsing and eating. But
I've
you
bought
walk away, they all just sit there and cry for you. You know,
I've Boer goats before, and my Kikos and stuff will not let them in the herd. They're like, no, you're too bougie. You're not
You're too
allowed
bougie."
to be in the herd.
they're an Amy goat.
I seen Chris look at Amy.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yep.
they're just too pretty to be part of the herd.
I was gonna say something, Dakota. I'm working on that next bucket of used hay string for you. I hope plastic's all right.
Hey, look, you just it's too late for that now. I've done it. I took care of the man.
If I can get it worked out with the United States Post Office on shipping a feed sack full of that stuff, y'all might be getting some.
Well, wait a minute. What about a bucket? We get more out the bucket than the hay string.
Sorry.
So what I want to know is, have you found a good use for used net wrap?
Yeah,
Fire
you can start fires with it.
That's what I was gonna say. Fire.
Hey,
What they do with
not
it around
afraid.
here is leave it on the back of their truck and string it down the county road, and then the grass grows up through it, and it causes a lot of headache for the road ditch mower. But they don't mow our road ditches that often anyway, just once every 10 years. So,
And then wrap around an axle real good and take your seals out too.
I was gonna say,
I like-
I seen somebody driving down the road with their car in a farm, a rancher left it on the back of the flatbed. It blew off. It was in the middle of the road, and instead of them swerving to miss it, they drove right over the top of it, and it caught on their drive shaft, wrapped up around their drive shaft, bent the drive shaft down to the point it wouldn't turn anymore, and done about $1,300 worth of damage to their vehicle. And who are you going to blame? Because like everybody uses it. I mean,
I used to work for Ford, dealer a long time ago. This guy brought his truck in. And he said, "Hey, I ran over something and I lost power. I don't know what happened." So we all even tried to push it. We couldn't do it. Tow truck came on, put it on a lift. We jacked it up, and there was a mattress wrapped up around the drive shaft.
oh, I've seen that.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, it caked the gas tank, everything.
Hey,
Wow.
Trey, thank you. There's people coming to my channel.
There you
From your
go.
channel.
There you go. Hey, I think everybody's done had some people come over. I've had people from pretty much all y'all's channels come over and make comments, and
That is
Subscribe.
right, Avid. Braided
I
fishing
got
line
one of the-
does leave severe damage to boat motor props.
Yeah.
I got one of the best comments I've ever had on a video from somebody, and I don't know this person, had never had contact with them before. I don't know that they'd ever commented on any video I'd ever put out, and they said, "Appreciate your." Sometimes I get tired of this and think I ain't gonna do any videos for a week or so, and then I get a comment like this, and they said, "We appreciate your videos. We never have commented, but we watch every one of them and really find it encouraging." So I'm like, hey,
I
great
had
for you.
one. It's been about a year or so ago. I got a comment on one of the videos, and it was, gentlemen. No, I was on a live, and this name I had never seen before starts commenting in the live, and they said their name, said their real name, and said we're a family from New Zealand. We watch every one of your videos as a family. We love you people. Keep putting out videos.
That's cool.
New Zealand.
They're not even in the same planet we are they?
Yeah.
Right.
hey, look, it's amazing how many people that watch. Have you ever went in like on YouTube, your stuff, and look at where all people watch from?
Yeah.
It amazes
I used
me.
to never have any watchers from Russia. Now all of a sudden I got tons of views from Ruskies.
Yeah, I've got them from all over. I'm like, it's crazy. It's just a small percentage, but it's just amazes me that people's picking up and seeing it from that far away.
Sorry, I had to get up. I wanted to wear my new Our Louisiana Life. hat.
Oh my
Or
goodness
this live.
gracious!
Oh,
Hang
my
on, let me get you here.
It's my
Oh,
Our,
you-
Eubanks
wait,
equipment.
Hang on.
That's-
Look, this is
my
a real
Our
one.
Louisiana Life new
Let me
hat.
show you
that I got.
something. Look at there. That's where it's at right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe I picked up the wrong one.
Yeah, you must have.
I don't.
But that's what I was showing you, that hat. So everybody that's getting a cap, I don't have them in hand yet, but the guy sent me the picture today of the finished product and told me they were shipping out today.
Cool.
I ought to get Shayla commercial hat making equipment, because I'm telling you, that's a normal thing. If you order a hat from people, that's how they are. They're out. There's that many people ordering them that they're always out.
It's not that they didn't have the hats. The problem was that when I made the order, he told me that this is like 2 weeks later when I checked on him, that I was still like 11 or 1,200 caps behind.
Yeah.
They have so many.
They can't make them fast enough.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the
Anita
thing.
took her first order tonight for making a dozen cups for a local YouTube channel. So
No
she's gonna get
kidding.
that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was
Oh,
gonna say, we got love making going on right here.
I hope it works out. I don't know if they can do hats, but I've got a friend who does shirts, and they'll do like one-off shirts or 100 or 200 or whatever, and they're producing them out of their house. And,
Well, I know a feller that does some hats, and he does a pretty good job. Yes, sir.
I seen that.
I
Yes,
haven't
sir.
seen them in person yet, but they look pretty good. Old Pooch from Pretty and Pooch.
Oh, so yeah, I don't have my Pooch hat, but that's like my favorite hat. It's my number one hat right now.
I've got one up here in my closet. I had it. Yep, I got
mine.
it there.
Yeah, I've got the one.
There's the Pooch hat. That's a good looking hat. I'm telling
I
you.
have that hat in my closet.
That's the one I have for one hat right now.
Yep.
I like any of them that have a patch on them. They're pretty cool.
So Shayla ordered for our hat. She ordered the hat and the patch separate, and she was gluing these on. For a little bit more, I think you can get them iron on. But what I was going to say about that is she also has a vinyl printer, and I'm thinking about having her make some more vinyl hats, because I actually really like the vinyl on a hat. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but we'll have to have her make some so y'all can see those.
You're definitely weird.
You're in good company if you're weird.
I mean, you're part of us. You got to be.
It's coming, Scotty. I promise that the hats probably won't go out. I know Scotty won one. I think I've got like 7 caps. I'm gonna have to order caps before anything else. Everything I got coming is about giveaway.
Oh,
I just
Dakota,
figured out that
You're
Shayla
commenting
is
on there.
commenting. It's not you comment.
Yeah, Shayla. I am not that. I'm not that good to be able to go back and forth.
Hey, Dale. Let me tell y'all something that I found out at Pinecone Fest. So when you see a comment, if it's all proper and caps and the commas and everything else, it's Shayla. If it looks like a 3-year-old done it, it's Dakota. That's what she said. I'm just telling you.
That's what she said.
Angie tells me the same thing.
and right there, I misread that comment at 9:53 to say I'm a hot mess. And what it says is I don't have a hot press. Oh, it's hat press. I thought it was hot. Well,
See you, Avid. Appreciate
You know,
it, man.
that's the one
Yes,
thing
I
about
read-
Pooch's video where he made them hats for us. That was the coolest thing I watched on that deal. I mean, his laser cutter was cool and everything, but that hat press, like, I was impressed in that deal. Like,
Yeah.
and it just turns loose and it's done. I'm like, what is up with that? I mean, it took all the work out of it.
Why spend money on a sublimation printer? Doesn't Paul Case's old lady have a sublimation printer? You could contract it through them.
I don't have an old lady. She's younger than me. But yes,
That's your
Anita
Okay,
does have one of those.
for your wife.
Yep, Anita has one of those. And
Same thing.
She is not available to comment. I can't hear her yet, but I'm quite certain there's a racket coming from the other room.
When she heard Dakota say, "You're old lady," here she.
No, she didn't hear that. Trust me.
Oh, she did that.
Anita's kind of like me. She don't mind. Just don't call her late for supper.
Old lady, not old. Old lady. That's Okie.
OLE, not OLD.
Yeah, OLE.
Well, you do know what they call pallbearers in Oklahoma, don't you?
Yeah. What's that?
Do you guys know? Karaoke.
He's going.
Hey, Rebecca, I see you down there. The panel's full. So I just don't
Well,
want you to think I'm ignoring you.
I can go ahead and go. Let her come on up.
It's not a big deal. I mean, Eric, you done been down there too, which I got Tina's
I'm
number.
going to
so I
jump
text
off
you.
anyway because I have to go smoke.
Say, I'll jump off too, guys. You have a good night.
I don't have to, but I'm going
I
to.
ain't trying to run
Hey,
nobody
Chris, I'm
off.
going to grow some tobacco this next spring. You need to grow some too, since you
Yeah.
smoke.
Smoke what I
Hey,
grow.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
Well, I
Hey,
mean,
we're
you are in
taking
Oklahoma.
from-
You can already do that, right?
Oh no, mine's not that green stuff.
Not that green corn.
Yeah. All right, Corbin, say bye. Wait,
Bye,
say
Corbin.
See you later.
Hi, Corbin.
Hi, Corbin.
All right then.
Learn.
Later.
All right, appreciate it, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
Hmm.
Learn.
Yeah.
He wrote learned.
just-
LURNED. Yep.
I just wanted to come up here and thank you for all of your support.
Oh yeah.
You know,
But Trey's
have
the
one.
one that you need to think, for sure.
oh, definitely.
No.
And I'm going to tell you, the one part that I would make sure that I could always make sure of is make sure he paid for it, though. I mean, I kept
He
bidding him and old Joey up.
He did. He did. He certainly did.
Yep. Yep. I paid up before it was even over with.
Yes, he certainly did.
So,
That used to
I
be.
ended up having to send more money because I bought something I wasn't planning on buying extra. So I had to send money twice.
Oh no!
So, well, have you got all your stuff, Rebecca? Have you got your car getting transmission put in yet?
It makes noise, Ronald.
No.
That was my brother removing his jump drives.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I was just
Oh, I
asking
heard
if
it.
you had your car. Are they getting your transmission put in?
Basically, I have to. They're not there from they're from Tuesday to Saturday. So I'm going to be calling him tomorrow, and he was thinking of the first week in November,
Good deal.
and I got to get the car towed.
Good
yeah.
deal. That's all right.
So it'll get towed over there, and I'll get a used transmission put in, and
Get
the Lord
going.
willing, that thing is going to continue to work. With you, please stop, brother.
Yeah.
Well, in Dakota, I hadn't seen because I hadn't got where you stand on the slab and stuff on your scales. You got him all finished up.
So I'm going to post a short tomorrow morning probably, but I'm doing a bunch of metal fab right now because those legs on that, if you notice, they're round pipe. So I got to make these load cells adapt to round pipe. So I'm going to post a short of Levi working on that for me this evening, but I'm getting there. I've got to get him done by the end of this week for sure. I'm gonna do maybe another short or a long format video. I'm not sure yet when it's all done. But
But I've got to at some point when I go home tonight. I have plans on editing a video tonight that comes out in the morning. I don't know if it's gonna make it or not. So I just. I'm telling you,
you're making that big money right now, overtime.
I am on. I've been on overtime since 6 o'clock. So what is it? 10 o'clock? Yeah. Which I told him I was going to clock out at 10. I'm still here, but I'm gonna clock out 10 and I'll help finish getting everything up and done. So, but it's almost there. That's what I went up there and checked a couple times. We're
Crystal,
almost
that's
there.
because I keep stretching it out.
Oh mercy. So, but
Ronald,
anyway,
he's got a heck of a beard going on down there.
Yes, my brother does. Yes, this is my brother.
Yep.
Some people that they come up and they is that your husband? No.
No.
And I don't say a word. I don't say a thing. I just says no, he's not, and he's not my boyfriend either. You know, I don't ever tell him that it's illegal for me to be married to him.
What's your brother's name?
Ronald.
Ronald. Yeah.
Ronald.
He does have a nice beard. I can't. It's been a while back, but hey, zoom in so we can see his beard. I remember he
Come on
was.
up here, Ronald.
all right, let me get this off of here. Hang
Come
on, here we
up here,
go.
brother.
Make me big.
There he is.
Bigify. We bigify.
It's flat.
It's definitely growing out.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'm not gonna shave. I'm gonna do no shave November, but I can tell you, mine won't grow like that.
I'm no shave for who
Yeah.
knows how long. I'm
Yeah,
no
exactly.
shave for who knows how long.
Exactly. Periodically, somebody will ask me how long I've been growing my beard, and I'm like, I don't know. 3 years, 4? I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest.
I can't seem to get past that itching stage. I just get to a point where like I can't.
It don't itch when it grows out.
Well, I know, but I can't seem to get past that point. That's my
It's
problem.
only a couple weeks.
I'll tell you the only reason why I trimmed up the sides of mine was the other day I went trap shooting, getting ready for pheasant season, and I pulled my shotgun up, and when I did, it pulled my beard. I thought I was bleeding. I got my beard between my butt of my shotgun and my shoulder, and I pulled that trigger. I thought, holy moly, I can't do this no more.
I was
I
sure you was going to tell us
what-
what. I was sure you was going to tell us what you found in your beard.
Nah,
You decided you need to trim the sides.
I
of it,
found
so-
food, and
Oh,
my wife, Lisa, will be sitting there all of a sudden. She's like, picks at it. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, you got something in it. I said, I'm saving that for later. Why are you taking my snacks?
Storage, woman. It's storage.
I'm going.
Somebody's keeping track, Dakota.
Yeah.
You guys ever watch Family Guy, or have you ever? I mean, you know what it is, right?
yeah.
There's this episode where he's growing this beard and he gets an endangered bird species in his beard, and the bird becomes such a nuisance and he wants to get rid of it, but then he can't shave his beard.
Because it's an endangered bird habitat.
Yeah.
Oh mercy.
That kind of crap right there has caught more tractors on fire. Park them in the barn and then don't check under the hood when you start them up the next year. There'll be a bird's nest. I don't know what bird it is, but we got some of them rebel birds around here that'll build their nest out of thorns. Oh my gosh. You reach under the hood of a tractor to see if there's
And you just grab a whole
bird's
bunch
nest
of
in there.
locust thorns.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Huh? They must
Hi,
be some.
Ryan.
They
Yep.
got to be some kind of terrorist bird. That's all I can figure.
Well, I can tell you, maybe I shouldn't tell that story. Yeah, I will.
You just start it now. You can't start it.
You
not
already
yet.
started
When
it.
I was at the dealership, we had some combines out there, and they set over winter. And the next spring, we were getting them all ready to sell. And one of the mechanics pulled it up there to the back of the shop. He turns on this combine, and I mean racket, bang, 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 and all of a sudden, parts and pieces from the cleaning fan underneath, which is looks like the blades on it look like a mini blind, except for they're made out of galvanized steel. and it just blows up. And we're like, oh my goodness, what happened? And then we got to looking, and there was a piece of Garfield there, and there, and there, and there.
I had one of them aggravating things get under the hood of my truck once, and it kicked the belt off that runs my hay bed. Then I had to work on my truck just so I could feed my cows.
Yeah.
So I seen a short the other day where this guy, he's trying to auger grain out into a truck from bins, and a raccoon comes out the end of the auger.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
the raccoon doesn't know what to do, so he runs back in and he gets in the auger again. And all the people, I just had to go to the comments, and all the people in the comments thought that the coon was just having a good old time. It just thought it was. I'm thinking, so dumb. You know, I'm not like hating on the farmer because the coon keeps jumping in the auger, but I'm thinking, how could people be so dumb that they don't understand that coon is scared and he's trying to hide?
Well, these are the same people though that make comments on Johnny's videos about his Brangus bull, Danny, saying, "Hey, Danny and Rufus need to go meet each other. Wouldn't that be cool?" Like, you don't put a ton bull and a ton bull together that have never seen each other before in their life unless you want bloodbath to happen. It's like putting two gladiators in a cage.
The one I like is, how come you don't have a bull? How come you don't have a bull? There's not a bull out there. You keep saying there's a bull, but there's no bull because there's not any of them's got horns.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah, they think that bulls have horns. Yeah.
I had a neighbor called me whenever I'll tell you a story and then I got to go. I was going to get off here at 10 o'clock. I had a neighbor called me while I was on my way home from church on Wednesday night, way after dark. And he says, or he texted me, he said, there's cows out in the road. And I'm like, where at? Because I've got a mile and a half of cows. Some of them on one side of the road, some of them on the other. And one of those roads is paved and people drive on it like they're stupid. They think it's a state line speedway. But anyway, he would never respond. And so when I got home, I'm like, well, I guess just check here at home first. And I had been through the gate and I thought, I better left that stupid gate open. Somebody probably called me. I was on the phone when I come through it and I didn't shut it. And I drive down there. Nope, the gate's closed and no cows out in my yard here. So I'm headed out the driveway and this minivan pulls in. And the guy says, have you got some cows out? I said, well, I've been told I do, but I haven't located them yet. He said, there's a big female out in the road right up here, right up at the corner of the dirt road. I'm like, okay. And so I go up there, and it's the bull that I had with my replacement heifers. And I've got extra lights on my truck, so I turned the lights on and got him started following me. Of course, he really likes to follow my truck. It's got the feeder on it. And I got him out on the state line road, and we had to go up about 500 feet to the gate. And I get almost to the gate, and here comes a car. He must have been going 70. And I literally ran him off in the ditch. They never even slowed down. They run off in the ditch to get around my truck. And I don't think they ever knew there was a cow in the road. But I got him off the road, and I'm like, I'm still looking for where the female is. And I went in there and fed my heifers so I could count them. Never seen her. Never seen her. It was the bull. They were talking about
because he didn't have horns.
Because he didn't have horns, he was a female. And so you guys are all in danger. If you ever shave your facial hair off, you may not be men. According to a city slicker, I guess. Yep. Yeah.
Never mind the marking tools hanging underneath him.
Marking tools.
Amazing.
One job, that's the tools he uses.
I guess I don't want to be rude, but it's amazing to me how many people can grow to be adults in this world and not know that much about, where their
biology,
their biggest
biology
comes from.
Yeah. I've seen people make comments about going out and hunting and killing deer and everything. It's like, why are you doing that when you can go to the supermarket and get meat? Not realizing that came from a live cow or bull at steer at some point.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, or pig or chicken. They just think it's pre-packaged stuff.
I literally seen a short today where somebody was duck hunting and this lady comes out in front of them and she's trying to feed the decoys.
Yeah.
She thinks the decoys are real ducks. And she says, and when she realizes that she's trying to feed the decoys, she turns to the hunters in the blind and says, "You guys will spend this much money to kill little birds. Why don't you just go buy your meat?" And it's like, what do you think happens to them? But she was trying to feed his decoys.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got a problem. Agriculture has a problem. There's a big disconnect between the end user and the dude that's out here working with the animal, growing it or even growing the grain. They don't have no idea. They think it comes from a supermarket because that's the last handler, I guess. But yeah, there's a serious disconnect there. I think COVID done us some favors because there's a lot of people that went looking for a better meat source that was reliable, where they didn't have to rely on some big food chain.
I do too, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we need is, this is the biggest problem we have with farm to table, is we need a deregulation of the USDA being involved in saying you can't sell this off your farm, you can't process this. We need a deregulation in that. But we also need more processors. There's really not enough processors.
No,
If everybody
Several of them are in our area through 2020 doubled their size because they could not
if
keep up.
everybody ran to a local rancher and said, "Hey, I want to buy a half a beef," there wouldn't be enough processors for that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's
another problem is we're coming up into deer season. So what few processes are, they're shut down for livestock, and so they can process deer. So if you have a cow or a pig or whatever that needs to go, you're going to be waiting until after the first of the year till they can get all that deer out. So
That's where we're at. We've got I say we, Daddy, I don't have none of mine. I don't have enough to sell for that. But Daddy's got several sold now, but we've got to wait. We're going to hold those yearlings until after deer season's over.
A couple years ago, my dad took a boar and a sow. He got them in the spring, and he was figuring on taking them to the processor in October, November. And he called them up and said, "Hey, I got these ready to come by." He goes, "Don't even think about it till January." So he's like, "I didn't want to raise them through winter, but that's what he wound up having to do." So
yeah, we were our local locker here was they were over a year out on beef, clear up till about a year ago. It started backing back off, and part of that problem is in our current economy, people don't have that much liquid cash to pay for it.
Right.
Well, Dale, there's the processor that Scott uses the most. Actually, they got them an automated service. When you call in to get you an appointment to bring an animal in, you have to have a credit card ready and make a $25 or $50 payment toward your bill to hold your butcher date, because they had so many people that were backing out of their butchering.
I mean, that happened. That happened at our locker. There was people that were so scared they couldn't get in a date, so they were just scheduling dates, and then the locker would call up a couple weeks in advance and go, "Hey, remember your date is this date," and they're like, "Well, I don't even have anything for it."
Yeah,
So
at one point there was so many appointments made out for hogs that it was quite obvious to me the hogs they're talking about butchering at that point aren't even born yet. So that kind of gets to be a little bit of a logistics thing. But I want to throw a rock in the hornet's nest just before I leave. I'm good at this, so I'm going to do it. Dakota knows this probably. If you don't, you should research it. They made a country song here a while back about, when you're driving down a country road, you're driving through some corn farmer's payload. In my neck of the woods, I pay the taxes out to the middle of the road. And I have had people that stop in front of my house and tell me I can't make them move because I don't own the road. I'd say, well, quite literally, I pay the
Technically, I
taxes
do.
on it, both sides, right?
So do I.
And so, man, it irks me, rubs me wrong when people be in such a stinking hurry to get somebody hurt or get in a wreck themselves, and they don't even care, and they tailgate my firewood truck. I'm like, y'all don't understand. You ain't making me go faster. She won't go no faster. Chunk of that cutting wood falls out there, total your little car, you'll be in the hospital,
Here's what I don't understand. I drive fast, but I try not to get right on behind people. But I have a stop sign right in front of my house, like 70 yards past my house. And people will literally do about 80 miles an hour over the top of the hill just to slam on the brakes to stop. And I'm going, I know if you're coming down this road, most likely you're familiar with the road. So why are you going that fast just to slam on the brakes? I don't get it.
Don't make no sense to me, but and think about it. There are places like interstate highways and bigger highways. A lot of the ones in Kansas, the state actually buys the right of way on their highways and stuff. But out on county roads, you're probably driving on something that's an easement that a farmer actually allows them to have a road there. And that's the way all those are wrote up in Oklahoma on our county roads. So when somebody tells you out in front of your place, you can't make me move, don't tell them, you're wrong. I can make you move. Do this. Ask them where they live.
Well, and
Will it be all right if I come up and sit in your yard tomorrow night and look for a strange light and drink soda pop?
yeah,
We'll move.
that's kind of. I have things like that too. They come and they throw beer can. They're driving their side by sides and 4-wheelers and stuff because we live in the middle of nowhere, and they see that my front yard used to be a circle driveway. It's not anymore. So they pull into my front yard because our place sat empty for several years before we got it, and they still think it is sometimes, I guess, even though I guess somebody just mowed the yard, and they'll pull in and they'll be out there at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, hooping and hollering. And when they leave, they just leave all their beer bottles and beer cans sitting next to where their side by side was parked or whatever. Well, I kind of put up with it for a little bit, and then about the third time, when Rooster was here still, he said, "Let's go do something about this, Dad," because we could hear him out there. We were up, so we just headed out the door with two 12-gauge shotguns and shot sticks and headed out there, and when we got,
give them a little thunder.
Yeah, when we got kind of close, we just let some freedom seeds go in the air.
Freedom seeds.
And them guys that were taking a leak in my front yard, they missed a hit.
Well, I've had a goal ever since I heard that in order to be a redneck, you had to have more vehicles up on blocks in your yard than what there was that would actually run under their own power. And Eric's been helping me with this a little bit. I wanted to have so many parts tractors here, but the price of scrap keeps going up, and I'll get a lot of parts off of them that I use, and then it goes to weighing against my empty billfold. And I'm never able to accomplish that. I thought I could have like the whole circle full of tractors have been taken apart to where.
So speaking of that, Paul, the video that you sent me the other day, have you posted that video on?
No, that's just for you, buddy.
Well, let me tell you, y'all ought to see Paul's collection.
They have. There's numerous
I-
videos
they
out
have.
there.
Yeah, I guess I haven't seen those. That must be from back a little.
Tell you what, if I had some old chicken barns, I'd have a heck of a collection too.
Today while riding the
I was
bus,
trying to build up a collection, but Tina wouldn't let me, so Paul got my.
Yeah, I got your yard art.
Uh huh. I had planned
It's
for
the
it. I was
wrong
gonna put it
color,
out
but you
front,
know,
put a
maybe just
flagpole on it. And...
You know, does that yard art, does it run?
no,
No.
not yet.
Hey, hey, my 6.5 turbo diesel's yard art, but I still drive it even though it's got a blown head gasket.
I've got to get the old Farmall regular out though, Trey. I don't know if you caught a glimpse of the Farmall regular, but I have a Farmall regular. They were made previous to 1929, and I repowered it with a Honda 13 horse motor. And it runs off a belt. It runs off a belt. I built a pedal. You have to push the pedal down to tighten the belt. It don't have no clutch or nothing.
There's a guy that uses those to rake hay on YouTube.
Yeah. And so
I
got to do a little carburetor cleaning. It's been sitting too long, but when I put that all together, it worked really fine. I was surprised. But I wanted to have a tractor I could paint up, take the parades, but the stupid thing is so wide because of the way they built it that the tires just barely would go on my 8-foot wide trailer. And I'm like, I might not want to haul it. I don't know.
We've got. Go ahead.
But anyway, I'm going to exit the scene. So been good hanging out with y'all. Have a good evening. Don't talk about me when I'm gone.
Wow. Well, this is unusual. Y'all don't realize how unusual that is for him to tell you bye.
Yeah,
I
know.
know.
Yeah.
He gone.
today while riding the
What's
bus,
up, Duncan Family Farm?
He gone.
Duncan Family Farms
Today.
got a new logo.
No.
Oh yeah.
today
Have a
while riding
tractor.
the
It's a
bus,
Troy built riding lawnmower. We have a couple old tractors, but neither one of them are running. Dad had actually bought both of them because they was gonna get into the tractor pulling.
Man,
And
I put out that video of that tractor museum, and you got to see in there what I'm looking for. I'm looking for me an L John Deere or an H John Deere.
yeah, we ain't got no John Deere. I think one of these is an Alice Chamber, I think. And I'm trying to
WD?
think the other one is an international. I'm not sure because look, my daddy, in case he builds motors, he has race motors. Somebody leaving?
Not Joe.
Night, Joe.
Night Joe.
Right, Joe.
But Daddy has all this stuff, so he's got all this motor stuff. It's crankshaft, rods out of this, pistons out of Hemis, it is crazy the stuff he's got. And we had
Night,
never done
Ryan.
anything with him. Night, guys.
Well, you gotta take a picture of it, send it down. He'll tell you exactly what it is, what year, and probably the guys that made it.
Oh, Dad knows all that information. He's got all that stuff. But,
Mm-hmm.
I think he sold the one motor he had built. He sold it to a guy to put in his tractor.
And Jan says, "Oh, I know you were drooling at that place, Dale." Well, Jan,
I
guess
was.
what? I just found some more footage that I forgot to put in that video.
Hey, thanks for coming, guys.
I was drilling watching it.
Oh, that place was. It's a haven for a tractor guy.
I really like that Alice I wound up having to sell to Paul, but like I said, Tina wouldn't let me keep it. But the brakes on it were different. Most tractor brakes are side by side. These was up and down, or one on top of the other, which actually made it kind of neat when you're turning around on some of these ridges. I just sit there and rock it heel to toe. It made it easier turning, but
Yeah.
it was narrow and it set higher, and it got really tippy, that and it being underpowered for what I
That
want
is
to
right,
think of it.
Paul. They are bougie and cute. Not near as bougie and cute as an L is, though. An L will fit in the bed of your pickup.
Now, who was saying something about tractor pulls?
That
Tractor
was, well,
pulls.
Dad had got 2 of them they was going to do, and it kind of, they're just still there, but we haven't went on with them. Like I said, he ended up selling the motor out of one of them. I think he
So-
had built.
Yeah. So Huxton is our youngest, and he's into the equipment. Man, he can operate my 55 horsepower Coyote. He can literally drive it back and forth and do chores, like run tools back and forth to us, whatever. And he's 6 years old. But I've got that Case 444. We did a video on it. We need to get some more. We need to get him out there some more with it and get it running. But I've also got 2 Case 222s that we're going to pick up. And I've been thinking about making him a little pulling tractor for like those little county tractor pulls.
The lawn and garden pulls.
Yeah.
I got a friend that has one, and he put a how big is that? You know, your sports bike, I call them crotch rockets.
Oh, like the 650cc Ninja type things.
Oh no, way bigger. We're talking well over
Like
1,000.
1,200, the
Oh, yeah.
Habusas and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he
The
put one of
1,000
those.
cc's and-
He put
Yeah.
one of those on an old Ford Simplicity lawnmower, extended the frame, and put on there, made like a big boy, you know. And I mean, this thing straight piped. He fires this thing up and he opens it up, and it sounds like a herd of 1,000,000 bumblebees coming to eat you. It is like, and it is gone. Like, I ain't never seen nothing like it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Dale,
Yep.
this is a picture I was looking for. It's a MT.
Oh,
my
that's cool.
my former husband, his mother owned one of these. Constantly had to be working on it because they didn't drive it enough,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff. But
I saw some car drivers doing some stupid stuff today. One heading north that ran a red light, and one heading south that ran a red light.
we could do that.
They're constantly doing that. And I was on the bus and witnessed it. Yeah.
I'm telling you, the people nowadays are just, it's like
No
they
com-
just give anybody a driver's license and they don't have to take a test or anything. I just don't get it. Like,
Yep.
you know, the
I
ones
don't-
that just kill me are you meet up at a 4-way stop and they don't know what to do.
Right.
They don't.
Go
No
stop.
common sense.
Go stop.
I'm like, are you to the right? The person to the right goes first.
Right, goes 1st.
Mhm.
If you're not to the right, then you sit there.
Well, my dad always told me when I was getting ready to get my driver's license, it's whoever's got the biggest vehicle goes first.
Oh, that's what it is.
Hey, I'll tell you what though. If you'll just go, you're gonna have the time to go. People are so hesitant. That's the
Yep.
problem. Is people who have the right of way never, 9 times out of 10, will never step out and go when they have the right of way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so
That-
a lady at my work, she was driving down a major highway, like 60 mile an hour. A side road coming up that had a stop sign there on this highway. This young girl pulls up there and then just proceeds to pull out and T-bone her running down the highway. And when that cop got there, that young girl said, "It was my turn to go." He said, "Ma'am, There's no stop sign on the highway. You have the stop sign. You yield to that traffic. No, they just need to wait for us. Everybody has to stop so that they can go.
Wow.
Yeah. Anywho, hey Jan.
Hi.
Anything.
Yeah, we got an intersection in Pineville at the stoplight. Turn right, you got the yield sign. That is the only one, regardless of who, the people that's turning left when they have the left turn arrow will sit there and yield for the people turning right at the yield sign. The first time when I moved down here, I ran into that after they put the stoplight in. Vehicle ahead of me, they started, and then somebody's turning right, so they just stopped right in the middle of the intersection. I'm like, what are you doing?
What do? You got to go.
Yeah, and I asked the local cop at the time, I'm like, what is the deal? And he's like, oh, that's just the way it always has been.
My favorite thing is whenever you're turning right on a right on red, and there's two lanes, and you turn into the right lane, and somebody facing you is turning left, and they want to turn illegally into the outside lane, and they honk at you because they're mad that they couldn't make an illegal turn.
Yep,
and it's like,
exactly.
you realize that if you would turn legally, we could both turn just fine.
Yep. That drives me nuts.
I don't know if like where y'all are at, what the lights are like. And I mean, y'all may have had this, but like just a couple years ago, it got here to where the turn signal light was flashing, just flash yellow, which means at any time you could turn. Well, it had just come out, and me and Jessica was leaving a buddy of mine's funeral. Well, we went to his wake that night. Anyway, we was headed back, and the same situation going on. There was an 18-wheeler sitting there, and we were going. Our light was green. Well, it was a little girl coming toward us, and she was turning. She swore up and down that her, that she had the right of way, but she didn't understand that it was just caution. She hit us head on. And man, it took a while. There was a lot of wrecks around here when they started doing that until people figured it out.
Good Smartians.
It's really funny. I live on a road out here that they put a solid double yellow line. I'm coming down the hill and I have to make a left turn. So I am constantly turning into our road illegally because there is not a division in it. It's like, what were you thinking? There is a private road here and you're having me cross a double line? Yeah.
Yep.
They do a lot of that in our country. I mean,
and
then the people that don't understand what a double line means, that means it's no passing, no passing.
No passing.
Yep.
Yeah, we've had a lot of with the chicken plant there at Knoll. They had a lot of refugees from Somalia, and I'm pretty sure they just gave them just the driver's license and just sent them on their merry way because they could not drive at all.
Yes. Paul Case is correct.
Yep.
He is.
Yep.
Do not like roundabouts.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of roundabouts here too. And some of the bigger, we don't have them in our little town, but some of the bigger towns and stuff are starting to get them. And people do not know how to drive around them. They will run up there and stop. I'm like, people, just keep the flow going.
There's one out when we go out west to go bird hunting. There's one out there in central Kansas. And I mean, it is literally the middle of nowhere. Like there isn't a town for like 20 miles either direction. And they put this roundabout out there where these two highways intersect. And every time I've been out there for 5 years. Every time you're out there, there's a fresh set of semi tracks going over the center of that thing because trucks come through there at night. And it just, because, And I don't know why they put it there. It makes no sense whatsoever for it to be
Well,
there.
Like Jan said, Missouri's got a lot of them. They're like got to be addicted. It's like randomly there's roundabouts in places where there's literally no reason to be a roundabout. They put one in
How
the
about-
Osho that just there's not even an intersection there. They just put a roundabout in there. You can
How
pull
about the
into
new
Turks-
the new end thing is where you cross over on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah,
We have one of those.
Cross over on the wrong side of the road. No.
Yes, it's called
Yeah,
a
so-
diverging. It's called a diverging diamond.
Yep, the roads cross and you're on the opposite side that you normally are so that you can get off.
So it's like figure eight racing, huh?
It is.
Yes.
they're
So when you come
usually
into one side of it, you cross, and when you come out the other side, you cross back. It
Yeah,
and it's become the end thing too. Like
on stadium off of I-70, they have that
Yep.
diverging diamond.
See,
Yeah.
Springfield was the
That's
first
a
one
new
that
one
I
there.
seen. Now Joplin's got one. They're on Range Line off of I-44. They're in Bella Vista, Arkansas. Just added one. They're along US 71 underneath I-49. So little difference. I still prefer those more than the roundabouts, though. But they both
what
suck.
I hated when I went, I had to go to the South for some training over in Georgia one time. And the thing that I loathed the most about Georgia was
They
you
wonder.
could not turn. You couldn't cross like over to go to somewhere. You had to go to a stoplight, make a U-turn, then come back. I'm like, what is, like I said to the people there, I'm like, in Kansas, if you make a U-turn, you're going to get a ticket. Like, you don't make U-turns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got.
You're gonna get ticket in Kansas for doing anything.
You
I've
bet
come
you are. Other than
Yep.
meth.
Hey, I did go out there one time. Shayla bought me the wrong hunting license, and we knew it. And somehow she still bought me the wrong hunting license a second time, and we had not enough money to buy a third hunting license to get all this straightened out. So I said, I'm going hunting anyways. So I went hunting, and on the first place we got out, the game warden rolled up on us.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
The very first place.
Wow, that's my luck right there. That is
Them
But-
my
game wardens
luck.
He gave
don't
us a
play.
warning, and then we got it straightened out by the end of the day, and we ended up hunting Kansas. But he gave
Well-
us a warning. That's the only warning you'll ever get in Kansas.
Shayla, I will tell you, it is way better now than what it used to be. 2 or 3 years ago, it was horrid. Now it's
Yeah,
pretty
this
good,
was about 3 years ago.
but
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I almost made a statement, but I don't want to jinx myself, so I'm not going to make that statement.
All
Okay, I'll
there
make
you go again. There you go again, starting something and not finishing it.
I haven't seen a game warden probably for 15 years or more.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't have said that.
We was right around Liberal, Kansas. So you know they got to have a game warden around Liberal.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. The buddy of mine I used to work with, he was hunting on his father-in-law's property and dropped his deer and was going to drag it back up the house. It was he said it was about 100 yards. He was throwing it in the bed of his pickup and he was cutting the slit on there so he can put his tag on it to take it down and to get it checked in. And apparently the game warden, which is the one that we have here in the county, does some really sketchy stuff. But anyway, popped him a ticket for it, for not having that light tag on the deer dragging through the woods. He's like, why are you on my property anyway? He goes, well, I can be here. So they went to court and the judge asked the game warden what he was doing and basically said, you need to stick to state property and threw the ticket out.
Exactly, Crystal. Yeah.
So
We've had some multiple run-ins with game wardens around the Louisiana area.
I tell you this. I went to school with a kid who grew up not having anything to do with hunting or fishing, and now he's a game warden in the state of Oklahoma. And I'll tell you this right now. If you didn't grow up hunting and fishing, you have zero business being a
I
game
agree.
warden.
mhm.
Louisiana, if you're a game warden in Louisiana, most likely in at least their parish they lived in, they was the biggest outlaw at some point. I'm telling
That
you,
used to be the case in
oh,
Oklahoma.
ours is. But look, like, and I don't know how it is everywhere. I know we have multiple places on here, but I thought it was so weird. We went to Missouri, not Missouri, Dale. We went to Missouri.
Now, my mom said it. She was born here.
I don't know. It was, I don't know. It's been about 9 years ago now, I guess. Anyway, I talked to this game warden, finding out about the area and stuff, you know. Well, he comes and meets us. Come to find out, he is the only game warden for like 3 counties. I mean,
Mhm.
That's here.
Louisiana has about 6 for every parish.
That's
I
because
think.
down there, you people,
You people.
you just. I mean, I've watched some of this. Like,
I know.
We've got
You people.
you people.
With Amy, I'm a cracker, and with Dale now, with the you people.
Hey, I'll tell you this. The biggest scam ever is wildlife departments telling you you cannot bait wildlife. That is the biggest scam ever. And Ted Nugent will tell you this because he's been in trouble in Michigan for this. But Ted Nugent will tell you this. It's stupid. The wildlife departments will say, well, the reason we don't allow baiting is because it spreads disease. But if you know a whitetail, they communicate by touching their nose. If a deer is in the area, they touch their nose. And if they're not touching their nose, if they're not in the area at the same time, they're touching a licking branch. They're
Yep.
touching a scrape. They're always, that's how they communicate. So a deer is always going to spread a communicable disease if there is one, because that's just how they are. They're a herd animal. And if you own livestock, you know that. That's how what's a
Yep.
cow do or what does a bull do when a cow is pissing? It goes
Oh,
over
yeah.
their nose in it.
Nose.
mhm.
So when a wildlife department tells you you can't bait deer because it's about CWD, that's not true. That's not true.
Yeah. You were exactly right there. Exactly. My son hog hunted with Ted Nugent. Oh, I bet that was cool.
Not the CWD is not a communicable disease. It's a prion protein disease, just like Alzheimer's,
Yep.
just like all kinds of different neurological degenerative diseases. But they won't tell you that it's not a communicable disease. It's not contagious. It's an environmental factor. I actually did a video on that. If you want to learn more about CWD.
Well, ours down here, we're right on the line for the CWD, the feeding. We can still feed, but like literally, it's a highway. It's Highway 17 splits it.
You'd be
If you
better off
are-
here than not feeding them, because one thing that allows CWD to take place is selenium and copper deficiency. So if you feed your deer selenium and copper, they're less likely to get CWD.
No, I can tell you how to prevent CWD, dementia,
I
all
bet.
of it. And that's to smell farts.
I knew it was coming when I seen the
Hey,
comment.
I mean, research says the best thing to prevent dementia is sniffing farts.
Yep.
That's
I've
the first
heard
time
that.
I've ever heard that.
Well,
I've heard it multiple times, at least from Dale anyway.
Joe Biden uses ice cream quite a bit.
Exactly. Exactly, Crystal.
Well, I've
Yeah.
got 260 acres out here, so we're going to have a huge meetup and feed everybody a bunch of beans the night before. Then everybody just start going out walking my woods, so to help my deer out.
Hey, that'll work.
Poor Nana.
Game warden wouldn't know what to do. Be thinking there's a bunch of people out there with buck grunts.
Well, I can tell you, I've had my fair share of running for game wardens, and they have cost me. I don't know if Jessica is still on here listening, because she sent me a text message about 30 minutes and says she was just leaving me something to eat out, and she was going to bed. But she can tell you the exact amount that one incident cost. So we had to go to court for that one. We made three TV stations, newses. We made all kind of newspapers. Yes, sir.
I can tell you, when I met Shayla, we was running around being outlaw. I was trapping, and I trapped to catch my limit in bobcats. I'll tell you this: it was not exactly legal, but in some states it is legal to trap the highway right of ways. But what I would do is I'd go down the county roads and set tin horns and stuff like that where they would cross. And Shayla had known me for about 2 weeks, and I said, "Hey, let's go run traps." I get out and I'm checking this trap, and I hear a car coming from like 3 miles away, and I come squirting back out of there, and I run and I jump in the truck, and I act like I get on my phone, and I act like I'm just making a phone call. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "There's a car coming." And she didn't hear it. She didn't know a car was coming. I'm like, I'm just sitting there acting like I'm talking on the phone. Car goes by. I get out and I go finish checking my traps. And she thought I was superhuman. She's like, "I don't know how this guy knew a car was coming. I don't know why I thought I was superhuman. I was just not trying to get a ticket."
Well, the last time I did have a run in, I was coon hunting, and that's when I was training dogs all the time. And I'm out there one night in the middle of the summer, letting hounds run. And in the state of Kansas, clear up till this year, you could only run with no gun in your possession whatsoever from a certain date to a certain date. And then it was closed for 30 days. Then season actually opened, So I'm out there in the middle, it's not summer, but it's late spring, and I'm training this pup, and we're just standing on the side of the road letting this dog work in there, and all of a sudden here rolls up this truck, and its lights, it drove up there for over 1.5 miles with not a light on. You could hear it just crawling down that road. Not a light one on. Runs up there, turns on a big old light bar, everything else. Don't move. And he gets out, and I'm like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "What are you doing out here?" I said, "Well, if you'll shut off that damn truck," I said, "I got a pup out there about ready to tree." And he says, "Well, where's your gun?" I said, "In the state of Kansas, it's not legal to have a gun, sir." And he says, "Well, you're being a smart aleck." I said, "No, I just know that you're just out here trying to figure out some way to get to a poor guy some way or another." And boy, he didn't like that statement. So then he wanted to search my truck, Then he wanted to know, "Well, whose ground are you on? Do you have permission to be there?" I said, "Well, that's kind of funny you ask." I said, "Considering that we just planted those beans right over there just like last week. So we're on our ground." Oh. And then all of a sudden he wanted to become my friend. "What kind of dog do you got? You guys raise pretty good dogs?" I'm like, "Get lost. Leave me alone."
Yeah, that's one of the things that ticks me off worse about conservation agents. It's like with them, the Constitution doesn't seem to matter. They can go onto your property. They think they can search your truck, your everything else. You know, normal cops
They can.
get warrants for that stuff or permission, and conservation. No, they can do whatever they want.
And that's crazy. They can, or at least here in Louisiana, like they have more rights than
No, it's true.
pretty much anybody. I mean,
And
they can.
you
they don't have
watch.
to have search warrants.
Anytime that there's a drug bust, you can guarantee that a game warden will be part of the group because they don't have to have a warrant to go anywhere.
Yep.
See, I wanted to be a game warden growing up, but I couldn't be a part of that kind of game wardening. You know, like you want me to go out and catch spotlighters poaching 200-inch deer? I'll be that guy. I could hunt people. You know, I could be really good at it, but I couldn't be just a useful tool of the state to just, you know, go and make revenue, so to speak.
Yeah.
I could make revenue in the right way, but I don't feel like it just wouldn't work out for me. I'll put it that way.
I like
Angie, I
what,
knew
I like
you
what
would
Angie
do
said.
something like that. That sounds like Angie.
Oh, it does.
I can show you. Look, this right here. Let me lay this. This was what got me in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that got me in trouble. Yep.
It's a good one.
yeah.
And I didn't even get to kill him because they got me before I could kill him
Yep.
or unalive him, whatever. I don't know all the technical words I can use.
See the wildlife. See the problem was, Trey, is the wildlife biologist was trying to kill that same deer, and he found you out. That's the problem.
Yeah, somebody did, because I made the comment to my wife, and at this point, I hope Jessica ain't on here because I'll be catching it all over again. But I made the comment to her. She said, "Y'all are gonna get in trouble." I said, "Jessica, we're like a needle in a haystack. They're not gonna find us."
Uh-huh. Famous
Well,
last words.
They found the needle.
What they found was that deer that was the needle in the haystack, Trey. You were just in the way.
What we didn't know was they was coming in behind us, checking our cameras, so they knew exactly what was going on. They was just deleting themselves off the camera, putting it back up again.
Well, I turned loose around a state lake not very far from here one night. My dad and I did. And no more than we turned loose, here come a wildlife officer truck. Pulled up probably 80 yards from us. Dude hops out, pulls out a tracker, points it in there in the brush where we just turned the dogs loose. And we're like, "Hey, how's it going?" He didn't even acknowledge we even talked to him. And then pretty soon jumped back in the truck, slammed the door, and took off. And this is quite a few years back. And this is when there was like all these people saying that they've seen mountain lions. And Wildlife and Parks was like, "There's no mountain lions in Kansas. There's none whatsoever."
Missouri said the same thing for years.
We go around the lake because the dogs get treed. Guess what? He's over there on that side.
Mm-hmm.
So we go in there to the dogs, roll the coon out because it's in the middle of season. We come back out and he's still standing there. I said, "You about got that mountain lion found in there?" I said, "He's laying back down in there next to the tree." Boy, I'm not doing nothing like that. I said, "Then why you been here harassing us?" Well, you know, I'm tracking deer. I said, that's funny. Well, it wasn't like 3 weeks later, one was hit on a road. Highway patrolman turned it in. took pictures of it, and they had to admit that they turned loose several pairs all over the state of Kansas to help regulate
Deer.
the deer population.
Hey, we have the same issue here. They swear up and down that they're not here.
Yep.
They're here.
Missouri
So-
just says they're just passing through. It's like, no. They did the
Here-
same thing with black bear until a few years ago. The old conservation agent we used to have,
Oh,
he was a great guy. He finally went down and found a mother bear that had just had a couple cubs, took pictures of them, drove to Jeff City the next day to give them, said, they are breeding here. We have black bear here. So now they're finally admitting that, yeah, we have black bear. And within the span of 15 years, we've gone from we don't have black bear to now we actually have a hunting season for black bear.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we're having our first hunting season for black bear this year, but it's a drawed hunt. It's nothing but a money grab.
that's what it
Because
is here too.
If you're going to put in for a tag here, you have to pay to even apply for the tag.
Mhm.
Then if you get drawed, you've got to pay. And then they make you have to have a game warden with you
Oh wow.
to hunt.
We,
Well,
we,
because
Yes.
there's such a nuisance here that they're afraid that we're going to pull out our hole punchers, as Dale called them, and make some bad holes punches.
Mhm.
we got so many of them in Oklahoma that it's over the counter bear tags, and you can hunt them on public land. The only stipulation is there's a quota. Once the quota has been tagged in, it's over. But there's a lot. And whenever I was probably 20 years ago, it was a conspiracy to say there was a bear in Oklahoma, and that's
Yep.
how many.
Yeah,
Yep.
the bears are so bad here on our local refuges. You know, they don't want to turn us loose to have an open season. But if you shoot a deer, and if it's one in the area and they get a whiff of it, you either fix have to fight the bear off or just give your deer up.
I've got a friend that sure does. He sent me a picture of it, a trail camera picture of a bear, probably as the crow flies, about 9 miles from my house, on public land.
Mhm.
We have them here. Look, and they've turned them loose everywhere. I've got pictures on deer cameras right there at the house. Them big suckers will lay down. If you got a corn pile, they'll lay down and just rake it in.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
They're
And
nothing
I
but
had
big
a-
old raccoons. I mean, they're
Yep.
just nothing but a big old trash panda.
And
Mhm.
one of my videos I put out, which just done been, I don't know how many videos ago, I went over and we was cutting hay over where we deer hunt, and a bear's and come through over there and tore my feeder up. Just tore the whole motor off it, laid on the ground. I know what that big sucker done. He just tore it off. It all went right there, and he laid down in front of it and just eat it.
I don't know
Yeah, Owen.
what it is for the other states, but for the longest time,
All
I
right,
don't know if
Bowen.
they've changed it or
Thank you,
not.
man.
Even if it's
Good night, Owen.
a nuisance bear that's killing livestock or getting into stuff, you're not allowed to dispatch it. You'll get a ticket. You call conservation, they'll say just leave it alone.
Oh yeah,
No,
you can't do that here. There's no, like I said, this is the first year that they're gonna make it a legal hunt. You know, but you've got to have a game warden with you.
Yep.
So they're doing that to make sure that you can't expel
Bougie
Many of
cousin
them.
of a coon.
Oh,
But
camping.
Yeah.
I've never seen a bear here in Missouri.
Even if you have a high concentration of bears, you're not going to see a lot of them. They're pretty sneaky animals.
yeah, and most of them are coming up out of Arkansas and moving up into Missouri. So they're hitting the southern part of the state, like where I'm at, and then going slowly moving north. So
No.
They've been confirmed Well, actually, out in Tony from our cabin in the woods, they've confirmed them out in his area, which is northeast of me. They've confirmed them south of me, actually, well southeast of me. So, I mean, in my area, there are bears. It's a matter of a fact. I'm right where they've been confirmed. But they're just so sly. They do not want to be seen. They don't want to interact with people. They will do everything they can to be, hidden, unless they get in such dense populations that they have to come out there and mess with you. They don't want anything to do with you.
They're almost as sneaky as Sasquatch is.
Well, here they have a 3-strike policy here for the bears. So a lot of the bears are bears they turn loose. So they have GPS collars and stuff on. But like, say one comes in your house, or not in your house, but in your area and tears up a beehive. Well, you call the local game wardens, tell them, well, they will come out, trank it, remove it, take it somewhere else, away from houses. Well, if that bear gets the call again, they tag that bear when they get that call on him. If it happens again somewhere else and the same thing happens, same thing. They'll come out, they'll remove him. The third time, he gets permanently removed. Here's this. Let me show y'all. Crystal just sent me.
Goes to the train station.
Where is yes? Exactly. Where is this at, Crystal? Is this at y'all's camp down there? I don't know where it is.
Eric, were you living in Missouri in 2017?
I've lived in Missouri my whole life.
Do you remember the? Oh, okay.
Can y'all see it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where that was at. Crystal may tell it there. She just sent took that picture to me.
Angie, I'll try to stop talking as much. Sorry.
Did you hear about the story of the 14-year-old that shot an elk in Ashland, Missouri?
Yep. Missouri's been trying to bring elk back into Missouri for years. The farmers and ranchers have fought it for a long time, and they've wound up eventually just losing where they are starting to release them.
All right, Angie. If that bear would have been white like a polar bear, I'd agree with that statement. That was Tony going to poop in the woods, but it's too black to be Tony.
Our wildlife department is the opposite. They don't want elk in Oklahoma. They have actually shot elk out of a helicopter. So they got on the South Canadian River bottom, which is a big river bottom that runs right through smack dab from Panhandle of Texas all the way to southeast Oklahoma, pretty much. And elk have got on that river bottom all the way from Colorado. Wild elk have ended up in central Oklahoma following that river bottom, and the wildlife department has actually gone in and shot them out of helicopters.
Oh, wow.
Because they didn't want them.
I think that's where some of the ones that Missouri brought in came from, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong.
But they actually legalized they made it to where you could over the counter. What this did was make it unobtainable to hunt elk, because they made over the counter tags legal, but people were leasing those out for a fortune, the people that had elk on them.
Nope.
So good luck hunting elk on private land unless you're fortunate enough to own a ranch.
Right.
But
But
they want them all shot. It's just elk season is deer season in Oklahoma. If it's deer season, you could shoot an elk. If it's on private land, it's basically free game.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
So we don't have no elk down here. If it is, it got out of somebody's pen somewhere.
They in fact found out that bull elk that she did shoot wasn't a one from the one down south. They don't even know where he came from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he wasn't part of that herd at all.
Yeah. I know, like I said, farmers and ranchers have been fighting it for ever since Missouri started talking about bringing them back into. Of course, you had your hunters that wanted them because they gave them an opportunity to help within the next few years, but they finally won out over the farmers and ranchers because now it's a lot bigger competition for food sources and stuff and tearing crops up. So
That's what I was going to say. I bet you an elk, knowing like what deer do when they're overpopulated into crops and stuff, I can only imagine what an elk could do and what they would tear up.
yeah.
Imagine how good an elk would taste.
Well, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty
It's
good.
good.
It is. It's pretty good.
Elk sirloin, medium rare, is the best steak I've ever had.
Yeah.
All right, put all that. I ain't had nothing to eat since 11 o'clock this morning.
I don't know
be
about that.
food.
I mean, I'd still take a ribeye over it any day of the week.
No way.
Ain't got
I got-
quite enough fat on it for me.
I can go get ribeyes every day. You can't go get an elk steak every day.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up.
Elk in the freezer.
I was hoping Lila Newton was going to be in here tonight.
Now,
but she's not.
Now, Dale, what you could do is get you some beef tallow and cook that elk sirloin in a cast iron skillet with that beef tallow.
Angie, y'all
True
bougie.
story.
Porterhouse. See, that's you rich folks, Angie.
That's
know,
bougie. Them
That's
bougie.
bougie. Yeah.
Well, now, what's the difference between a porterhouse and a T-bone?
A porterhouse has the loin and the ribeye both
Yep.
on it, with the tail, with the spinalis muscle at the end of it.
What's a T-bone?
A T-bone is closer towards the chuck, so it doesn't have a full ribeye on it.
Oh, what you mean is it's got more flavor. Now, a chuck steak cooked right has got the most flavor.
I love a chuck steak.
We broke. You said with eating porterhouses. I got you. I get. Or is that why you broke? Because you eat porterhouses.
I'm so poor that when we get one butchered, they don't even call them ribeyes; they call them club steaks. That's how poor we are. Because they take all your ribeyes and they sell to all the bougie people, and then they give you like all the eye of the round and everything cut and call it a rib or a club steak.
Flavor is Yeah, and I know Amy ain't on here no more, but see, you hear Amy, everything we're talking about is so good, it has a bone attached to
Yep,
it.
that's right, Angie. It's a ribeye and a strip steak together.
Okay, whenever I have my beef butchered, now Shayla is not big on eating off the bone, but she will at least cut it off the bone, because when I have ribeyes cut, they are bone in ribeyes because you get that flavor from that bone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That bone flavor. It's
Oh,
good. Good for you.
I see someone put up that about Wagyu. I can get Wagyu ground right Wagyu beef at the farmer's market. And it is so good.
If you like Wagyu, just go on a budget and get a Holstein. They're about the same. They're good eating. I won't tell you not to eat a Holstein, but they require a lot of grain, just like a Wagyu, and they will make a lot of fat, just like a Wagyu.
Probably one of the better beef that we've butchered lately was a big stein. That sucker was almost 3 years old by the time it got big enough to butcher. You know,
I'm gonna tell you, we
That's the thing. You're gonna have to wait it 2.5 to 3 years, but they're good.
they're good.
We have done Angus, we've done Longhorns, we've done, Charolais, we've done Bramer. Let me tell you, when you eating it, there ain't that much difference. Not to me. Like eating hamburger and stuff. I'm not gonna say
Now
that
let's not go there at that Longhorn with that breed that should have went extinct like 50.
No, hey, look, when it comes
Corn
to
is right now. I love.
it's good. And it's Longhorn meat has less cholesterol in it.
Y'all gonna make me go pull a steak out of the freezer and show y'all.
You can show me all day long.
But
It's got
it
got as much marbling as your average Angus.
It does. I mean, you can't tell much difference in it, or I can't. I mean, and we've done all of them, and we do a lot of them because you don't get as
I'll be
much
back.
sale born for them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, Dale, hang on. Now, look in this freezer. Now, that's not long. Let me find the long. Oh, right here. T-Bones Longhorn. Can you? I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
See all that white? That's fat. That's a good steak right there, Dale.
Yep.
Let me find chuck roast. No, that's not.
And you know what's the best thing about that?
Hang on.
You
Look
can
at
buy
that.
them cheaper than dirt at the sale barn because if they're Longhorn, they give
Exactly.
them away.
Exactly, Dale.
Give them away.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's value. That's value in my freezer because I paid. I'm telling you, about a year ago, I bought that Longhorn steer. He was already probably 600 pounds. You know what I paid for him a year ago in today's cattle prices? At 600 pounds, I paid $350 for him.
I'm gonna tell you when it comes to the meat, and especially when I'm eating hamburger, you can't. It's all so much better than anything you're gonna buy at the grocery store.
Hey, Trey.
Oh yeah.
You know what
what kind it is? Home
Yeah.
raised, you cannot beat it.
It is.
You know what about the Longhorns though, specifically that gives that little wow flavor? Like, man, there's just a little more flavor to that beef. It's because they browse everything that the Angus and all that don't.
I will say that I'm gonna what we do.
They're half goat. That's why.
I'm telling you, they eat like them. I'm telling you, you don't have to worry about the Longhorn. And we've had them. Look, my daddy still right now. If you watch some of the videos, he has some purebred registered Longhorns that are. But I'm telling you, body wise, they're as bigger than any Angus or Brangus or whatever cow we have. They're the larger frame Longhorns.
Now this is why Longhorns are not favored. This is why they don't do as good. And it's solely because Angus did such a good job at marketing.
Yep.
They did such a good job at marketing, and it was genius by Angus because all an Angus has to be is a certain percentage red or a certain percentage black. And when they pull the hide off of it, as long as it grades on the carcass, it can have horns on its head. And if it's all black and they grade that carcass and he is at least choice, they're going to put certified Angus on it.
Yep, because it's the
That is
premium price.
genius at marketing.
Yeah.
Angie, you can do a lot with that cheap hamburger.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's it. I'm telling you, when it's a lot of stuff that's publicized. But the deal is why they like it at the sale barns is it is like you said they've put it out there, but every breed of cow pretty much has a certain feed that you can feed to put the weight on the quickest. And that's where they went with the Angus and stuff like that, is because they know the concoction and they can do it. And
three different breeds you bring in this country up here that are going to be guaranteed that you're going to give them
15.
away at the sale barn? Longhorn, Stein, and anything Boss Terrace, anything that's horn,
And
I mean,
you're
eared
right.
or
Now-
eared or naveled.
But at
Now-
the same time, though, I know, Dakota, you're trying to get there. But at the same time, I agree with you because it is. We have horn cows. If we take it to the sale barn, we don't make nothing. But it's like me and Dakota talked about the other day. I bought that red cow I just sold at the sale barn. I bought her for, I think, $425. I think I had it all wrote down. I think I put it in a comment or something, but I sold 3 calves off of her, which is bred to either a Brangus, a Gelbvieh, or an Angus bull. Sure, I have not made as much off of her, but off her calves. But in the grand scheme of things, I've made more money off her calves
Oh, yeah.
because of how much cheaper I got her.
Yep.
You know,
Your input cost was so much less.
yes. it is.
Here is a fact. If you give me the same 160 acres right across the street from somebody else with 160 acres, you give them Brangus cattle, and you give me Dexter, Corianny, and you just give me one good bull, I'll make more money per acre than they will off their Brangus cattle. I guarantee it. Because if you give me Corianny and you give me Dexter cattle, and I put a Charolais bull, I put an Angus bull, a South Pole bull, a Red Angus bull, Limousine bull, I could put any bull over those cows, and I can calve out and sell cattle at 300 pounds, and I could sell those cows for the same money, nearly, if not more, or about the same ballpark as them. And my input cost on my mama cows is 1/3 the cost. So if I had the money to do it and I was born into the land to do it, I could outperform any Brangus Angus ranch out there. I just need the opportunity. I'm chomping at the bit. That's what I need.
We are steadily going more and more to the Angus side because it is at the end of the day, there's more money to be made if you can get into it the way that we're trying to get going with it. But like I said, for your cost input, I agree with you 100%. Cost input, it's a good thing. So I mean, but at the end of it's just what works for your area, because it's like Matt says with Ranching Sodak. You know, I watch him some. He puts a Wagyu bull on his Angus and Angus cross cattle and stuff like that. And when they first started out, they wasn't getting the money. But it's the same thing like we talk about. They're finding out, I'm calling it the recipe, but how to put the weight on the Wagyu up there. So the price.
We got a lot of producers here that they're using Wagyu semen AI.
Yeah. And all it's doing is they're learning how to put the weight on them fast, just the same way they have the Angus. And you could do it with anything. You could do it with, you know, the Corientes or if the people put into it, you know, it's getting the right recipe to put the weight on them fast, because in the grand scheme of things, for what cow calf crops and selling to sale barn goes, that's why they like to buy those, because they can take it to the feedlot and good night, Wanda, and they know how to get the fastest growth out of them, the quickest, and that's where the money comes from. It, like I said, at the end of the day, there's not really much difference in the meat.
Here's the deal to me.
You ready to see what I have here?
Yeah.
What you got? Hang on. Let me get you bigified here. Yep, ground bison. Yep.
Yeah. I'm able to pick that up at the farmer's market.
A bison. I have thought about picking me up a bison and getting it butchered. They sell pretty cheap at the sale barn near me if they're ever there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's been some beefalo and some bison both that go through there. They sell cheaper than cattle usually. But here's the thing to me with when you're talking Corianni, Longhorn mama cows, this is the other factor that goes into it. For every Longhorn cow or for every Angus cow that you can have 2 Longhorn cows because their input cost over their entire life is less. The math just maths. Now, here's the problem is this is the disconnect. Everybody is reliant upon that sale barn price. But if that sale barn price were to drop tomorrow, is Angus going to pay the bills any more than Longhorn? In fact, Longhorn would probably pay your bills better if the sale barn price drops because what you're targeting with those Longhorns and Coriannis is direct to consumer. And if you could target the direct to consumer, you're going to be more sustainable because
you're talking,
right now, sale barn prices are phenomenal, but I promise sooner or later there's going to be a crash.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
and
we're a lot like Trey. We've got a couple hundred head of mama cows and bigger operation. But
there's people though that they're if you look into
personally, not mom and dad, I'm a farm to table direct guy. So that's my pigs. I raise, the chicken I raise.
And doing that, you can make just like Dakota says.
Mama calf operation. Yeah. You can.
Oh, I know you can. We did it for years when I was growing up.
You ever checked out Greg Judy?
Yeah.
That guy's doing it. He's killing it. Now he has South Poles, and they're more like they're closer to like a Red Angus, But he's killing it, man. That guy doesn't have to go to a sale barn. If he takes something to a sale barn, something's probably wrong with it.
Well, and that's you got to be in the right area too.
Yeah, you do.
That's what a lot of people in my area have discovered that tried to be like raising eggs, raising chicken on pasture, stuff like that. We're already too connected to everything. Everyone here is already connected. Now, those people that venture up to the Kansas City area, suburbs and stuff like that, they can kill it, man. But right here, local, like
it's an education problem, though.
Grandma and grandpa already supply them with meat, or their brother raises their beef for them, or you know what I mean? Or
I
had a neighbor lady over here. She had 300 head of chickens running around in her yard. She's getting 12 dozen eggs a week or more, and she's just going to the gas station and just giving them to everybody free.
Have you? Trey knows. Trey knows of this. Our Wyoming Life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you checked them out? Check out how much it costs to ship beef, and they're sold out.
And the crazy thing, they charge like $10 a pound or something, or $8 for hamburger. I'm like,
what do you think this costs me at the farmer's market?
I mean, probably how much is it? A pound? It looks like a pound
It
pack.
is a pound.
I mean, probably a fair price for that. Probably be $5, $6, but you probably pay
$8.
what?
$12,
$11, $12, $13.
They're 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because here's the deal. This is what we do, and it's totally different. And I've talked to several people in different places and how they sell. We're going up on the ones we're selling now, but the way we do ours, and we've made good money with it. We take a yearling to the slaughterhouse for people. We have it slaughtered. They skin it, do all the stuff. Then they call us with a hanging weight.
Mm-hmm.
Then we sell it for a hanging weight. Normally, it's what we've always done. Angie, is we sell it for $2.75 a pound, hanging weight.
That's cheap in our area.
And down here it is right now. That's what I said. What we're doing now, we're having to go up to even make it work out money wise for what we could get for the cattle at the sale barn. But before cows went out the roof like they have the last year, let's say, that was a fair price. We were getting fair price for what it was. But then you take that and it don't cost you to sell at the slaughterhouse. Ours, I want to say it's not but like 65 cents a pound to have it processed. So you take that into it. They're making a lot of money when they're selling this stuff for $7, $8, $10, $12 a pound. Yes, there's a lot. The downside to that is you're not getting a bunch of money in a hurry. You've got to be able to hold on to that because, like in the case of you, Rebecca, you bought one pack for $11.
Now,
The thing is I'm not paying cash for this because I have EBT.
Yeah.
You
Now-
know?
But all I'm saying is from a standpoint, they're marking that stuff up a lot
Now-
more like that. Good night.
Now, Dale and Trey. Now, let me ask you this: What if you're in Louisiana, you're in Kansas, I'm in Oklahoma? What if all of us said, "Hey, here's an idea. Let us all get medium-sized mama cows, and let us all breed a good bull, and come to an agreement on how to raise a good product that is marketable in direct-to-consumer." That you could say sets you apart, like raise it in a way that truly sets you apart from what you get at the market at the grocery store, and you guys you come together and you said, okay, let's design a online store and a network of people selling our product, and you could sell it for $10 a pound or $8 a pound at farmers markets. You had people out there pushing your product. And you could make more money than if you sold to the sale barns.
No, and you're exactly right, and that's all I'm saying. You just have to be able to. So we go to the sale barn. We go to the sale barn.
Building.
All I'm saying, you go to the sale barn right now. In the case of us, just say we go sell 500-pound yearling. That 500-pound yearling right now, we're going to make around, say, an average of $1,250 for it. We get that $1,250 right now. That's our $1,250 and done. Sure, we could take that same thing that we made $1,250 off of, take it to the sale barn, pay for the slaughter, put it up, and sell it out. And by selling everything out by a good price, I don't know, let's say we might make $2,100, $2,200 off of it, but that $2,200 is spread out over a month, 2 months. And like I said, I'm not disagreeing because we do it both ways. I mean, we have some slaughtered. I had a big longhorn steer slaughtered last year. I sold some of the meat off, some of the burger and stuff off of it. So, I mean, we do both ways, but I'm just from just what kind of works for us in the deal is,
but
there's a lot less headache involved to just take it to the
Well, I
raise
pork. I raise on pasture, and then I dry lot, and finish. And it started as us being a show. We were show pig people, and it was something to do with, retired show pigs. And everybody was like, I ain't eating no show pig. They're horrible. Well, I'd take that show pig and sell it to people for, $1.25 a pound live weight.
Yeah.
Take it to the butcher. They paid for their processing. And then I'd get phone calls and text messages. Man, what kind of pig is this? This is the best pig I've ever ate in my life. I'm like, that's that nasty show pig you didn't want nothing to do with. Is what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's all on how you're feeding and what you're feeding. That last 30 to 60 days is so crucial on what you're feeding. Up to that point, you can feed that thing. You could feed it cardboard.
Yeah.
But it's that last 60 90 days that makes a big difference.
This is what I would
I'll
say.
take my dad's limousine after he raises it up, and I'll put it up against anything. I mean, it tastes just as good as whatever. And the great thing about limousine is my 5-year-old grandson can walk out there in that pasture and pet it, and just like Paul Hereford.
Ooh, count yourself lucky.
Limousines are kind of hot-headed from what I know.
Yeah,
Not
but
that
they are sometimes.
Charlie's
They are they're hard to keep in
constantly when I would
fences,
drive somewhere,
but they're
I would
gentle.
see Charlie's out.
Yeah.
Charlaine's, what I know, are pretty calm.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Most everybody in this area raises limousine, and yeah, other than the fact they get
Yeah.
out all the time, the only ones I've ever seen that's even just as gentle or gentler is Bold Herefords.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you can attribute. So back in, when I was young, man, Limousine was like known as the meanest cattle there was. They were crazy.
You know who
crazy.
brought in limousine to the United States, don't you?
Yeah.
Don O'Brien from here.
Yep.
One that he brought in and introduced.
And they
limousine
said that
to the United States.
you could attribute every one of those back to like one bull that everybody loved the genetics of, and like every one of those pures that were crazy went back to that bull.
They're some of the most impressive looking cattle I've ever seen, but
Oh yeah.
But my coworker and buddy, he's had some limousine bulls and cows, and from the stories I've heard, I don't want anything to do with them. Although I do have a yearling bull right now that's about a quarter limousine, and he has tried to get a little hot headed. But I'll tell you what, a thump on the nose does him some real good.
Well, there ain't nothing meaner in
Right,
this
man.
whole world than a Holstein bull. Holstein bull is probably one of the meanest things there is. But
I've heard.
I had an old dairy man, and he told, he was known for selling gentle Holstein bulls to people. And everybody's like, why is this bull so gentle? Well, he had this lot behind the barn that was concrete pad, and he'd let them bulls just get out there, and he would never clean it off. And I mean, it'd get slop like this deep. And then he'd go out there and dump after washing the barn, all the water, and just turn it into a sloppy. You couldn't stand on that glass concrete if you wanted to. And he'd go out there when them bulls were like 300 and 400 pounds, and he had him a big pole, and he'd just go to shoving them bulls down, them little bull calves down, until they wouldn't get close to him. They didn't want nothing to do with him. And that was the secret to it. You got to think about them Holstein bulls. Every one of them's raised on a bottle. They have no respect for people. So he had to make them have respect for people.
That's
to
the
be
problem.
scared of you. Then they weren't mean.
Yeah, I have a bunny. Right now. Have you seen Bunny?
Yeah.
The nuisance.
Yeah, she's like that. No, she doesn't know she's a cow.
Again,
Yeah, bottle calves, with
Every-
our Wyoming Life, I watch them, that they have those bottle calves, and they won't leave you alone.
No, every year at the county fair, there's some new family in there, and they've got some bottle calf, and they're like, we're going to keep him and show him as a steer next year. And I said, bad idea. Well, they're such a baby. They're just so nice. I said, yeah, that's all cool when they're like 200 and 300 pounds. But when they get to be like 17, 1,800 pounds, and your little 7-year or 8-year-old is standing at the end of it, they look at them and go, hey, let's play. Boom.
Yeah.
Or just walk over them,
I could tell you this though, cows, from my experience, like we've got one steer. He was a bottle calf, had no boundaries when we picked him up. The owners that had him had no business having cattle. They had no boundaries with him. He would just come up, slam the feed bucket out of your hand, knock you on the ground just about. I can tell you this right now. You knock them on top of the nose real hard, and you let them know that you're dominant and they're not. Eventually, they'll figure it out, and that's necessary. Some people might think that's abuse, if they don't know cattle. But if you don't teach that thing, when he's like you said, when he's 1,200 pounds, he will throw you.
It's
And
no
they don't
different when you have a
realize
dog
they're
in your house.
1,200 pounds.
You got to teach it right from wrong.
Yeah.
The rolled up newspaper has to come into play at some point.
Mhm. Well, it's like anything else. And they get up that big, they don't realize how much they weigh and how
Hey,
easy it is
Kristen.
for them to hurt somebody.
They're just doing naturally what they would do with the other cattle because
Yeah.
you were the one who fed them. They think they're like you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Herman. The great boy. We just gained several right there. Hey, social media grow show.
Social media
Cool.
grow show sent me.
Yeah, yeah. I've been on there several
Hey,
times.
hey. There they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop off of here. I'm gonna go to bed.
I gotta get to bed.
Hey,
I
look,
do.
it's 11:36, and I have to go home. I got a 30-minute drive home still. I got to eat supper, get a shower, go to bed, and get up and be back here in the morning about 5:40.
Holy moly.
Yep. You got a short night and a long day ahead of you.
In fact,
Oh.
Trey,
Well,
have
don't
you
let
sent me your address?
Now,
Have you sent me your address? I don't think you have.
I don't think I posted it the other day on your live. But I think Jan got it because I had Jan was going to send me that card. I think Jesse and Lisa was going to send me the vanilla, and then
I have the hat and I don't have your address.
Email her.
okay,
Email me,
I will.
please.
I'll do it. I'm not. It probably won't be tonight.
Oh no, I don't think so.
It will probably be tomorrow, but
In
I
fact,
will.
this is going to be in some chili.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to make
That'd
some
be
chili
good.
with this.
Good deal.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night. I'm out of here.
Yep. Y'all
I
do
do
the same. I'm out,
appreciate it,
guys.
ma'am. All right.
Be careful.
Bye, Rebecca.
Good night.
Hey. Oh, well. Yeah. I just got there's Kristen hollering at you, Dakota, saying hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So, but well, guys, hello, Fever Dream Animation. At gum, I hate all these folks is just coming on and fixing to have to get off. I would stay on however long, but I'm telling y'all, I have been up and at work since 5:40 this morning. Been up since 4:45 this morning. So, and I still got to go home. So it's 11:30. So yeah, I'll probably get into bed about 1 o'clock, and I'll get back up at 4:45 in the morning. So, but are you locked up on me, Dakota? Nope, I think Dakota may be locked up on me. So yeah, it's so you're an hour ahead of me, Kristen. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be here this late tonight. We had some stuff come up, and I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be on when I not on here. I wouldn't be here at work if it wasn't for some stuff that happened today. So nothing you knew about it. I almost canceled the live tonight, but I said no. So it was good enough, close enough time, and it was close enough. Everything ready. I come back here and basically clocked out from work and just done it all. Yes, sir. Smashed the like button. And look, for y'all that are just joining and coming on, I do every Monday night, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. It's called my Open Mic Monday. So it's to a point that anybody can jump on. I'll hand out the link, and everybody is is welcome to join, come in. I mean, I can have up to 6 of y'all on panel. So I like to get to know people and meet people and so on. So yeah, Kristen, I need a little sleep, but it'll be okay. I'm used to it. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, guys, look, any of y'all that's on here watching, that's I know we're down, we have 19 people watching now, but any of y'all that want to grow your channels, guys, and get to meet people, go check out Social Media Grow Show. And any of my mods, y'all drop their link in the description. Y'all check them out. Y'all go check Tuber Chat. I get on Tuber Chat a lot, and yeah, when I can. Like I said, I hadn't been able to do much the last few days because I've been so busy. But anyway, guys, y'all check all of them out, and it helps you grow. I mean, I've met a lot of people through them. We go on. I've swapped playlists like Kristen right there, Bella's Whisper. I met her on Tuber Chat, and see her over. She's over on the Social Media Grow Show. So let's see where we at. Let me catch up here. I don't want to get on. I may have to take you up on chatting. Hey, I'm telling you, I put it in, and like I said, the link's posted right now. I would tell you to come on right now, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting tired and fixing to go. We say here, yeah, live shows daily on weekdays. Yep. A lot of times it's he's got my kind of lives when I get to wind down. A lot of times they're late, so it makes it easy for me to get on and catch those. So, but anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody that's got on tonight, and can't believe it's 11:42 and still got 17 people on here watching. But I appreciate everybody that jumped on tonight and chatted. And guys, if you're just getting on here, if you're just subscribing, hey, y'all check it out. Y'all watch some videos. Come back next Monday, and I might do a pop up. I jump on several. There are several channels that I jump on, and we chat. Kind of do the same thing. So anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all, and until next time I see you, because I don't know when that's going to be. Y'all check out some of these new channels on here, guys. Check out everybody. Tell them that our Louisiana Life sent you. And till next time, guys, I'll see y'all. Appreciate it.